Yes, guys, what is up? Hope everybody is keeping well, and welcome back to the channel. We're coming to you live from my home house in Leitrim. You should see the setup right now. We've got the streaming light here, that's all good. We're currently balancing the laptop on a Nintendo GameCube box. And yeah, we've a bit of a different setup this week, but we're still here, we're still live and direct, and all is looking well. Hope everybody is keeping well. Do let us know where you're watching from in the world. Get those likes going on the stream here, and if you are watching and you haven't subscribed, head on down there, click subscribe on the channel. And yeah, I'm going to be live for the next 2 hours and 10 minutes. The deadline is at 1:30. We've got Dawn and Saw Doctor in the chat. Hope everybody is keeping well. And yeah, do send in your questions ahead of the deadline. And yeah, we're going to get straight into it. So wildcard is a big topic this week. If you are playing your wildcard, do let us know if you are playing your wildcard. You know what? We're going to start off that with a poll. First off, Sean Oster's in the chat, man. Hope all is well. Let's get this straight going. Are you playing your wildcard this week? You can see by my team there, I don't need it. Probably need 1 or 2 transfers. Van Dijk, Ekatike. Probably stinking up the team a small bit. Ekatike definitely last week. At least Van Dijk got his goal last week. Raya maybe. So there's probably 3 transfers I would make if I was using my wildcard this week. I'm going to hold it off till later on the season. As always as well, don't forget Chelsea and Arsenal in that EFL Cup semi-final on Tuesday. Whoever wins that semi-final progresses to the final is going to double in 26 and blank in 31. So we've got triple Arsenal already. My desired one, or my favourite one, would be Saka, or sorry, not Saka, Rice, Gabriel and Timber. I've got Gabriel at least. Probably going to downgrade Saka to Rice if I can, but it feels a bit of a luxury transfer, to be honest with you. But let's see what minutes Saka gets today. He owes me a return after keeping him for this long anyway. And yeah, we do have a decision to make on the captaincy, whether to leave it on Bruno Fernandes or whether to go for Erling Haaland then as well. Right, Sean Saw Doctor watching from the rally on the side of the road in Headford. Didn't even know there's a rally going on there, so fair play. Keep an eye on the road then as well in case there's no debris coming your way, Saw Doctor. Good man. Right, Dawn is saying -4 to Dorgu. I don't know what's wrong with my throat this morning. I'm going to get into my team. Joe, we'll start off, while the questions are coming in, we'll start off with how we got on last week, because it was a positive week. Finally, after 3 red arrows, we finally got a green arrow. Very much due. We're back up to 107k overall. That midfield is looking very nice apart from Saka there. The defence then as well, Mukalele conceded 3. There's always a hope when Sunderland score when I'm checking the live score or Sofa score that Mukalele is going to pop up. There's 2 lads on the Sunderland team that begin with M that always give me a little heart attack. I'm just going to look it up here then as well. I don't know why I'm even telling you this, but whenever I look up Sunderland scores, is it Mundell? Yeah, Mundell and Mandava. Whenever I look at Sunderland scores, they always either get a yellow card or get taken off. They always give me a little heart attack. But when I'm always checking Sunderland scores, there's always that chance that Mukalele is going to get something, and the last 2 weeks he's been an absolute joy to own all season. Have him this week against Burnley. If he gets a clean sheet there, a couple of DEFCON points, and maybe a sneaky attacking return, that could be a double-digit return from my man. But we'll see how we go then. We're looking forward to that Monday night kickoff, and I'm actually going to keep a close eye on that and see how we go. If you're playing Dubravka this week, that's fair enough then as well. That could easily be a 0-0 game by the looks of it, but just reminding myself then I need to pick my last man standing pick this week. Anyway, right, that's how we got on last week. You can see how we got on last week. You can, yeah, 52 points anyway. Strong green arrow, healthy green arrow. We're sitting on 107k overall. 2 points off the top 100k. Badly need another green arrow this week. Get inside the top 100k. And yeah, let's see where we end up from there. Saka let us down. I was chatting to a Go United player during the week. I said if Saka blanks the United win, I'll be happy with that. Bruno Fernandes, we got the leak last week. The Foden wasn't playing, came in, got that assist. Probably unlucky not to get another return, to be fair. And Enzo Fernandez, Palmer wasn't starting. Knew he was going to be on penalties then as well. When he was stepping up to take that penalty, I was slightly concerned about Henderson has a decent record of saving penalties, but thankfully he didn't hit it down the middle because Henderson stood still and he slotted into the bottom corner. Got another one in the Champions League during the week also. Rosenier said Palmer is fit to start. I wonder is he going to risk him with that EFL Cup semi-final on Tuesday. I'm expecting some rotation in that Chelsea game. Let's see how it goes. But I've got cover on the bench if I have to with Esteve. As I said, that could easily be a 0-0 game. I was looking actually at Sunderland for the last man standing. Maybe I'm after chatting myself out of that. But if Enzo doesn't start, which I do think he will, I've got to stay a bit. But apart from that, bench is looking very weak. No point using a transfer for Dorgu. Already have enough players this week in the fence. Virgil, Gabriel and Mukiele. But if you need a transfer, Dorgu to Mukiele is what I'll be going for this week. Right, let's get into the questions here. We've got a few coming in. Right, Dawn, -4 to do Dorgu to Timber, Saliba or Chalobah. I'm happy to take the hit. I was going to do it last night but couldn't decide between them. I've Gabriel already, but then I do not have any Chelsea defence. Depends what the rest of your defence is, Dawn. If you're looking for another Arsenal player, I'd make sure you have Rice. You already have Gabriel, I'm assuming. If the Timber Saliba is blocking you from a Rice move, maybe leave off that and maybe go for the Chalobah route. Next 4 for Chelsea are very nice. Probably Chalobah for -4. Worry about the Arsenal lads later on if you don't have Rice. Look towards getting Rice. I prefer Rice over our second Arsenal pick in the fence. Saw Dr. Aloha and a very happy Saturday. Hope all is well, man. Sean Ostrich played wildcard this week. Have Ruffs, Tarkowski, Gabriel, Mukiele, Chalobah, Senesi, Bruno, Enzo, and Mbeumo, Joe Pedro and Haaland. Any thought should have changed Pedro to Evan Nielsen? Pedro's alright, but as I said, I'm expecting some rotation from Chelsea in that lineup this week. Not that he's going to be a trap. It seems it's maybe not the right time to bring him in. Ruffs, Tarkowski, Gabriel, Mukiele. So you've at least one. You've only got one Arsenal player, have you? Gabriel. Yeah, you need a few more Arsenal players, so Sean. With that double for Arsenal, if they're getting that double, you're going to be behind people who haven't even wildcarded, because look at myself there, we've got 3 Arsenal players. If you only got Gabriel, you need the likes of Rice, Timber, Saka, at least a Rice and a Timber there. Get your 3 Arsenal lads in there. Don't be trying to chase transfers if Arsenal do get that double. What about the midfield? Any defence? Any changes to make? Rice in for probably. Where's the rest of your team there, though? You've Gabriel, Mukiele, Chalobah, Senesi, Bruno, Enzo, and Mbeumo, João Pedro, and Haaland. 4-3-3. Sure, let me know the rest of your team there, Sean. You need Rice. You need another Arsenal defender there. Get those into your team and get yourself sorted out there, especially if you're using wildcard. Is it only 2 teams that will double in 26? Yeah, Arsenal and Wolves, or Chelsea and, am I right in saying Brentford? Maybe I'm wrong. Arsenal and Wolves, Chelsea and Everton. Sorry. So it all depends on the result. Arsenal are obviously winning 3-2. If Chelsea progress, it's probably setting me up worse. I've only got Enzo Fernandez, and Mark Guy is blocking a third Chelsea asset. But I don't even have. Well, I have 2, but I technically don't have 2 with Guy not getting any minutes at all. So yeah, I prefer if it was Arsenal, even if you're on wildcard, maybe stick in a Mane there as well, and set yourself up for potentially 4 double gaming players if Arsenal do get through there. Right, I'm gonna keep going through here. And what about midfield? Yeah, right. Is it only 2 grand? Fat Neek, morning mate. How's your week been? Hope you're doing well, my G. All good, Fat Neek. Great to be back with another fantasy deadline. Slightly later than this morning, which is always nice after a long week of work. I'm happy enough to get that line. I'm gonna fix this camera because it's kind of annoying me now. That's a bit better. We're fully in there when I'm leaning over. But yeah, all is well, man. Calm before the storm. Anyway, it's always nice to have a quiet-ish fantasy deadline. But last week, if you joined me last week, the last 10 minutes were absolutely crazy last week. But sure, look, that's for the love of the game. Antos, did I skip someone there? Leo. Morning Niall, current midfield is Rodgers, Bruno, Wilson and Mbeumo Rice. Very strong midfield there. Finding it hard to let go of Wilson for Enzo, but Chelsea's fixtures can't be ignored. Bit of a luxury transfer then as well. Let's get up Wilson. He's been a solid man on my team the last couple of weeks. That last minute free kick 10-pointer was well needed last week. His fixtures over the next couple, United, I'm expecting United to win that game. I do think Fulham might grab him back, whether it's a 3-1 or a 2-1. Everton, Man City, Sunderland, Spurs. Not the easiest of fixtures, especially the City game in there. Even a Sunderland away isn't the nicest of fixtures, but those teams are conceding goals. Even Everton at home, Fulham at home are a different team compared to their way form. Even with Oscar Bob coming into that team, would he take some set pieces off Wilson? Probably not. Would he take some minutes off him? Maybe. But Wilson is Fulham's main man. So it's going to be interesting to see how Oscar Bob gets on. Oscar Bob is like 5.7. I was looking at him last week. Let's have a quick look at what price he is there. It's a bit of a luxury transfer to be fair, but 5.1. Why is he red flagged? Hamstring injury, what? Wow. Fair enough. Oh jeez, I didn't know that. Fair enough. He's 5.1 actually, not 5.7. Going back to that. He could be a lad down the line for 5.1. He could be a lad down the line for a potential wildcard puntish if you need a bench booster. That I probably would go for the Wilson to Enzo move. It might backfire, but as I said, Enzo has the fixture, so probably would be getting that going. Right then, 11:30 now. 2 hours to go until the deadline. Plenty to discuss. Appreciate a few new subs since we started the stream. If you are new and you haven't subscribed, head on down there, click subscribe on the channel. Great to hit 8,800 during the week. We've 42 watching, 11 likes. Let's try and get to 20 likes. Push us out to a few more people around the world. But Leo, if you have the money for that, I probably would do that transfer, yeah. Antos98 have Saka, Foden, Ekitike, Petrovic, Xhaka and Grealish. Thinking of wildcard, what do you think? Saka, Foden, well obviously Saka's okay for this week. Long term Rice is probably better. Foden, Ekitike, Petrovic, Xhaka and Grealish. Grealish looks to be out for the season. Xhaka isn't the worst. Petrovic can't catch a cold. Ekitike is okay this week. Antos, sending the rest of your team there. Looking at that, Foden, Petrovic, Xhaka and Grealish have to go. That's 4 transfers already. Probably Saka and Ekitike down the line then also. So you might be pushing the wildcard this week. But send in the rest of your team there and we can try and help you out. But it's not looking great at the moment. You might have to press the wildcard. We'll get into a wildcard team also. If anyone does need it. But looking at that poll there, 69% are saying no, they aren't playing the wildcard this week, which I do agree with if you can save it at all. John Cena, who would you rather have, Krupi Jr. or Evan Nielsen? Krupi Jr. save the money, is what I'll be going for there. Onspro in the chat, no transfers to make, 2 out and get Bruno in, contemplating and Buemo captain. Wow, with Haaland then as well. Can I get the Spurs team news up here? They're missing Poro. Van de Ven seems to be out then as well. Let's get Spurs up here. I was Bruno all week. Well, no, I was Haaland when I did my captaincy video over on YouTube or over on Instagram. Then I changed it to Bruno during the week by using the voiceover, and just with seeing all the injuries to Spurs. Yeah, Mickey Van de Ven is touch and go for the visit of Man City. The Dutch midfielder missed out in the win over Frankfurt with a minor issue, but has been on grass in the last 2 days. Bergval, Poro, Davies, Richarlison, Kudus, Madison, Kulusevski all out. So they have some problems in the fence. They have some issues. I do think Haaland gets one. Bruno Fernandes has all those routes with penalties, extra point for a goal. Don't think they get a clean sheet, but +2 for a DEFCON also. So maybe that's why I'm going towards Bruno Fernandes. Maybe there's a week to go against Haaland. He got his goal during the week. Could easily see Spurs pushing up high like Galatasaray were during the week. That's when Haaland got his goal. Surprised he played 90 minutes in as well. The game was done and dusted. He should have just taken him off. But sure, look, for now on Bruno Fernandes, let's see where we end up at 5-1 or 25 past 1 before the deadline. Duffer, would you take -4 to get João Pedro for Ekitike or Chalobah in for O'Reilly? Probably not, Duffer. What's the rest of your defence? You can probably chance O'Reilly if you have to. Chalobah in for O'Reilly for free, definitely. I'd give Ekitike 1 more week, especially considering what Rosanier is saying about the Chelsea team. He said this is the weekend he's going to learn a lot about his team, so that probably hints at a lot of rotation there. Toke 90, I'm thinking of starting Van Dijk over Timber, have Gabriel, Mukiele and Sanchez in goal. What do you think? What's the rest of your midfield? I think you probably do have to start Van Dijk. Those injuries to Newcastle coming back from Paris then as well during the week. I do think Liverpool will win this game. I'll be starting Van Dijk. If you're not starting Van Dijk this week, you're as well get rid of him for Chalobah if you have them. Well, you should have the money. Yeah, he's more expensive than Chalobah. So if you're not starting Van Dijk, just sell him. Start him this week. Yeah, Timber on the bench is fine, but surely you have someone in midfield. Timber can start over them. Toke 90, let us know. Abdullah, hey Era, happy Saturday my friend, same to you man, great to see you as always. Alex Stanton, thoughts on wildcard? Sells, Norton and Forest are in for a goalkeeper in the January transfer window, keep an eye on that. So maybe not Sells, in for wildcard. Gabriel, Timber, Mukiele, Chalobah, Hill, Semenyo, Rogers, Rice, Ekitike, Haaland. Benches Dubravka, Wilson, Krupi and Anderson. Right, so you have Timber, Mukiele, Gabriel, Chalobah, Hill this week. Not a 5-man defence. Wow. Semenyo, Rogers, Rice, 3-5-2. Yeah, Ekitike and Haaland captain. If I was on wildcard, I don't think I would go on Ekitike. Maybe have to go Thiago there. I know he doesn't have the fixtures, but you'll want him in from game week 27 onwards. So probably save yourself a transfer down the line. There's every chance Thiago can get something against Brentford or against Villa today, or whenever it is today, tomorrow. But I think if you're on wildcard, you have to not book in any transfers ahead. You'll want Thiago from 27. Get him in already. Not mad on the 5 defence there. Butcher Luck Hill against Wolves. Gabriel, Timber, Mukulele, Chalaba. To be fair, it's not bad. Maybe sort out your goalkeeper then as well. Celta Verbruggen, as Forest are looking for a goalkeeper in the transfer window. I watched the transfer show yesterday. Don't know who they're in for, but they're looking for a goalkeeper anyhow. Rice, Gabriel and Timber or Raya on wildcard. Rice, Gabriel and Timber is what you're going for there. Raya, 6 point ceiling. At least Timber can get some DEFCON. He's not a DEFCON magnet. More chance of an attacking return than some DEFCON for Timber. But Rice is a bit of a waste of money with his returns over the last couple of weeks. Kevin, good to see you, man. Dilemma whether to bring in Bruno Fernandes for Semenyo or Rodgers, maybe just rolling. I think I was chatting to you in the YouTube comments during the week. Your midfield is very strong. You can't get rid of Semenyo, you can't get rid of Rodgers. You might have to leave off Bruno this week. Any other route to Bruno though? I don't think you do. You had a very strong midfield. If I was picking one, Rodgers to Bruno. If you're captain in Bruno, if you're not captain in Bruno, leave it off there. So that's tough now. Right, where are we gone there with the questions? Sticking with Bruno captain, Prigioni for now. Yeah, I think I will. Not fully locked, but Haaland is always an option. But I think I'm gonna say with Bruno for now. Yeah. Will I be swayed? I don't think so. It's just the injuries to Spurs. The last game on Sunday also, but look, City's the last game on Sunday, but I'm on Bruno. I've got Dubravka, Anderson, Wilson and Mane on my bench. Sean, what were we saying there? What was your first one? Did you change your what midfield? Oh yeah, here we go. Right, so Dubravka, Anderson, Wilson and Mane. At least you've Mane for that potential double. You had a bit of an issue with your defence though, didn't you? Or you didn't know. Ross, Tarkowski, Gabriel, Mukulele, Chalaba, Bruno, Enzo and Buemo, João Pedro and Haaland. So you've Wilson at least that can come in for one of the defenders. Probably Senesi next week. Change Pedro to Evan Nielsen is fine for 1 week. I'm just thinking long term you'll want Thiago from 27. If you can save your transfers after doing the wild card and get Thiago, then when you want it from 27, maybe that's okay. So, but if you're on wild card, you shouldn't be doing that anyway. So save your transfers after your wild card, and then do Pedro to Thiago in 27 when Brentford's fixtures look a lot better. Abdullah, I'm stuck with Gravenberch. Don't know who to change him with. Do I want to bring Rodgers, but I'm missing 0.9. Any alternatives? So what you've about 7 million maybe? No, you've about 6.1. Is my maths matting? If you're looking for a midfielder at that price, Wilson is the only one that comes to the top of my mind anyway. Let's put in 6 million or 6.5. Surely you can get someone 6.5. Anderson for the DEFCON maybe. Not much of a muchness really there. If you can bench Gravenberch this week, probably will go for that. And if you can't get the Rodgers, I'll be looking towards Iliman and Dye as another alternative if you can't go to Rodgers. Let us know if that's alright. If not, just go Wilson. If you already have Wilson, Anderson with the DEFCON isn't a bad shout at all. He's taken along nicely over the last couple of weeks with those DEFCON 4s every week. It's a lot better than 2s or 1s. Those extra 2 points add up over the space of 3 weeks. That's an extra goal. My midfield is very strong there, to be fair. It was probably a mistake getting rid of Anderson. I brought in Wilson at least, so probably it wasn't actually. Wilson has probably matched or bettered Anderson's return since I brought Wilson into the team from. But if you need the money spare, it's a bit of a boring transfer. Anderson in for Gravenberch isn't the worst transfer, especially with him picking up those DEFCON. Should have picked Wolves or Forest for last man standing. Ooh, not Wolves anyway, away to Bournemouth. Or Wolves are at home, aren't they? Who are Forest playing again? Crystal Palace. Out of those two, can't see either winning. If you had to pick one, probably Forest, but can't see much getting there. I have to pick one myself. Who have I left? Let's have a quick look at who I've left. I was thinking Sunderland, but as I said, I'm probably going to chat myself into a 0-0 draw. So I have used Or I haven't used Bournemouth. Bournemouth could be a shout. I haven't used Brentford, Brighton, Burnley, Palace, Everton, Fulham, Leeds. I've used Newcastle, Forest, Sunderland, Spurs, West Ham, or Wolves. Not great. I'm down to the last 4 as well, so I need to have a think about that later on the stream. We'll focus on the fantasy questions first. Radim, hey man, in your opinion, is it better to try Raya and Munoz or Sanchez and Timber on wildcard? Thanks. Gabriel is a lock, of course. Raya and Munoz or Sanchez and Timber? Sanchez and Timber is what I'll be going for there. Sanchez has been picking up a few double-digit returns, but very close to double-digit returns. That Crystal Palace clean sheet wipeout last week knocked him out of an 11-pointer as well. So I'd go Sanchez. He's picking up the saves. Chelsea are a wee bit more vulnerable than Arsenal in defence, and it just seems whenever Raya's faced a shot on target, it goes in. He's not a lad for racking up the save points. But yeah, Sanchez and Timber, go for that. More chance of Defcon or attacking returns for Raya or for Timber. And Chelsea defence over the next couple, Sanchez seems to be the number one. Would you go Ekatike to Pedro in order to get Gabriel in over Timber, or Van Dijk to Chalobah to get Gabriel in over Timber? Of 3, Arsenal want rid of Raya, but Fields away till wildcard. If you can keep Ekatike at all this week, I would. Van Dijk to Chalobah isn't the worst shout either. I was nearly looking at that this week. But I think I have to give Van Dijk one more week. Save the second transfer. Newcastle at home. City at home next week. I think the 2 Liverpool lads are going to have to go. Ekatike is probably going to have to go. We'll see. I was eyeing up the Chalobah move in with those 4 for Chelsea. Wolves, West Ham, Wolves, Leeds, and Burnley over the next 4. Should be at least 2 clean sheets for Chelsea in that game. I was tempted into doing that, but after Van Dijk got that goal last week, I'm going to have to keep him. But Stu Getty, back to you. Ekatike to Pedro in order to get Gabriel in over Timber. If they're for free, okay, I'd try and keep Ekatike, but if you have to get the money for Gabriel, fair enough. Or Van Dijk to Chalobah to get Gabriel in over Timber. 3 Arsenal want rid of Raya, but Fields away till wildcard. Van Dijk to Chalobah to get Gabriel in over Timber. Do you know what? It's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I probably would do it. If I wouldn't do it solely, but because you're getting Gabriel in, because of the funds being saved, I probably would go for it. Stu Getty, just go for it. I think Ekatike is slightly better picked than Pedro this week. It sounds like Chelsea are going to rotate a lot, and I wouldn't say no to Ekatike returning after he did well during the week. So yeah, Van Dijk to Chalobah solely because you're getting Gabriel. I'm not recommending that transfer by itself, just because you're getting Gabriel, and Gabriel should be your priority. So if that's what you have to do to get Gabriel, do it. Alex Kelly, would you bench boost with Krupi, Senesi, Thiago and Dubravka on bench, or keep for a double game week? Wow, that's a strong bench. Krupi, Senesi, Thiago, I probably would bench boost that. Yeah, that's a very strong bench boost. Thiago could easily return against Villa. Dubravka, that could easily, as I said, be a 0-all. Senesi up against Wolves, and Krupi Jr. will start against Wolves also. Yeah, go for that. That sounds like a 10-point minimum. If I'm ever considering a wild card, if it looks like they're going to get 10 points, all you want is a double-digit return from your bench boost. So yeah, probably would do that. And then at least later on when you're using a wild card, you don't have to worry about your bench boost. And yeah, I'd lock that in now. I was even eyeing up. I can't do it with my bench at the moment. Dubravka's fine. Dorgu's out. Markey doesn't even play. So 2 players on my bench that don't even play. So I'm gonna have to make a bench boost when I use my wild card. Yeah. So that's what my plan is for now. But looking at that bench boost, I'd go for that definitely. Yeah. Right. Where's the comments gone here? What are we saying? Right, Antos98 again. Rest of the team isn't the worst. Have Dubravka, Gabriel, Anderson, Esteve, Vertsky, Haaland. Bench is just too light for my liking, with the lads above doubtful. So this was, yeah, Grealish, Xhaka, a couple of those. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Probably would wildcard there, yeah. Guy, Esteve isn't hectic either. I know he's back in the team then as well. Probably would wildcard that, yeah, with the likes of Grealish. Foden that needs to go, then yeah, I'd probably would lock that in. Yeah, if you're considering the wild card, and if you can fix your team with three free transfers, or 3 transfers, even if you're taking a -4, leave off the wild card, it's going to be better value later on the season when we're planning for doubles, blanks, etc. Palmer captain, Ashraf, don't think I would. Rosanier said he's fine to start. I don't think he'll play the full 90 anyway, especially with the Arsenal game in mind. Also the fact he only came on at half time also in the Champions League. I wouldn't be captaining Palmer, definitely not. It's a time to go against Haaland probably this week, not to go against someone who's an uncertainty of starting, or even someone who's guaranteed to get an early sub. So I wouldn't be going with that. Cameron, morning. Would you have Munoz, Enzo, Evan Nielsen, or Richards, Palmer, and Krupi? Munoz, Enzo, and Evan Nielsen. Even Munoz, Enzo, and Krupi, and upgrade your midfielder defence elsewhere. Cameron, that's what I'll be going for. Michael in the chat then, team sent on Discord. How are we looking, Michael? Raya, Virgil, Timber, Mukalele, Wilson, Enzo, Semenyo, Szoboszlai, Saka, Haaland, Ekitike. 3 free transfers, 1 million in the bank. Anyway, to Bruno Fernandes, probably not, Michael there. Raya, Virgil, Timber, Mukalele, the defence is fine. Unless you did Saka to Rice, Szoboszlai to Bruno, Michael, probably would go for that, to be honest with you. If you want to captain Bruno, go with that. I'm going to message you in case you don't see it. If you want to captain Bruno, Saka to Rice, and Sob to Bruno, just in case you missed that. Let me know if that's alright, Michael. 71% not wildcarding this week. Twitter's a bubble, so a lot of people over on Twitter wildcarding, so good to see a lot of people aren't. I'm in the same boat as ye. Ashraf, Sanchez, Gabriel, Timber, Mukalele, Palmer, and Wema Rogers, Bruno, Semenyo, Haaland, Evan Nielsen. Palmer, I'm not sure if that's a wildcard, Ashraf, or what, but Sanchez, Gabriel, Timber, Mukalele, all good in the fence, and Wema Rogers, Bruno, Semenyo, Palmer is a very strong midfield. Probably will go Rice over Palmer, especially with that potential double game week. That's a lot better there. Rice over Palmer. You even got a captaincy shout on Rice if you want to go. For now, looking at a potential double game week captain. Let's see how Saka gets on over the next couple of weeks. If I look to get rid of him for Rice, I could even be looking towards a Gabriel captain over the double game week. So let's see. Good day to you, man. Yup, thanks, Kevin. Good man. Great to see you, man, as always. Using the wildcard, should I go for Harry Wilson or Semenyo? Adam, out of those, Semenyo. Semenyo looks to be Pep's one of his favourites now after Haaland, since he's come into that team. And very unlucky not to get 2 last week, so I think it's Semenyo's spot to lose. So I'd prefer Semenyo over Wilson for sure. Right, then 11:45. Let's keep this going. If you are watching and you haven't subscribed, please do head on down there, click subscribe on the channel. We've got 42 watching. We're nearly on 30 likes. So go down there. Let's try and get to 40 if we can at all in the next couple of minutes or so. We'll get the likes going on the stream. Let's try and get this pushed out to a wider audience around the world. But as always, cheers for everyone in the chat right now for tuning in this morning, and your support is greatly appreciated. Jack, would you wildcard this team? Dubravka, Roofs, Gabriel, Timber, Konsa. So you're looking to wildcard it. Senesi, Heaven is an issue. Saka, Enzo, Garner, Foden, Bruno, G, Haaland, Ekitike. Want Bruno Fernandes, but only would be able to get him with wildcard. Don't think you would. Saka to a Rice and Foden to a Bruno, or even you've got a few issues anyway, right? So Foden, Bruno G, Heaven, but you can leave him on the bench. Foden and Bruno Guimaraes is probably your main issues. If you go Foden and Bruno, you can hardly do Foden to Bruno and Bruno G to Anderson maybe. Seeing as you already have 2 cheap midfielders there, Jack, let us know. But I probably would be going, if you can't do that, Saka to Bruno, Foden. You could even do Foden to Cement. Let me know how many transfers you have, Jack, because looking at that team, you can surely fix with Saka, Foden, and Bruno G out. Bruno Fernandes, even a Rodgers if you want, and a Rice. That's how you get it. Rodgers, Rice, and Bruno Fernandes for Saka, Foden, and Bruno Guimaraes. Jack, let us know if you can do that for free. If not, let me know how much you have and how many transfers you have also. Cameron, wildcard is Raya, Martinez. Too much money in your goalkeepers first off, Cameron. Saliba, Gabriel, Chalobah, Maguire, Munoz, Richards. I don't mind Maguire. It's just probably a lot of money with 2 Palace lads as well. Munoz or Richards, probably pick one. Maybe go an Anderson or a Mukalele as well. Rodgers, Bruno Fernandes, Enzo, Palmer on the bench. Dewsbury Hall, Sarr, Haaland, Thiago, Evan Nielsen. Palmer's probably a concern. Sarr then as well. Haaland, Thiago, Evan Nielsen up front is fine. If you downgrade Evan Nielsen to Krupi Jr., You can upgrade your midfield a bit more then as well. Could go Sarr to Rodgers with that money save, or you already have Rodgers. Sorry, you could even do a Sarr to a Rice with that money save. Make sure you have three Arsenal defenders. That's where you're going wrong. So Raya, Martinez, get rid of the two of them. To be honest with you, Verbruggen and Dubravka, save some money there. Sarr to Declan Rice. Dewsbury Hall is okay. He's coming back into that Everton team also. Enzo Fernandez, Bruno Fernandes, Rodgers. The midfield is nice. You just need a Declan Rice in there. Haaland, Thiago, Evan Nielsen, Haaland, Thiago, and Krupa Jr. Save yourself some money also. You'd need to have at least 3 Arsenal players. I know you've got 3 Arsenal defenders. I probably would prefer Rice over a third Arsenal player. Rice over Raya any day of the week. Same team as you, Bar, Van Dijk and Enzo. I've Guehi and Thiago instead. Roll this week. Also, does Guehi start regularly now? Alex, yeah. Keep Guehi in the team against Spurs. Couple of injuries to Spurs then as well. Wouldn't be surprised if Chelsea do get a clean sheet away at Spurs. Thiago over Enzo is okay. Thiago on penalties, Enzo potentially on penalties. All depends if Palmer starts that game. But for now, roll. Nothing wrong with that team. Let us know if you're going Bruno Fernandes or Haaland for the armband. Good man. Right, good few messages to get back to on the Patreon also. 30 likes, which is great to see as well. So we're going to have to get over to the Patreon at some stage and get back to those questions. Right, I've Nunes, Tarkowski and Thiago. Who to bench? One of those. Maybe Tarkowski just. Nunes, good chance of an attacking return. Thiago on penalties. I think you probably have to bench Tarkowski there. I've made the changes to triple Arsenal and I've benched Senesi to bring in Rice to the starting 11. Sean, sounds good. Thoughts on Ekatika down to Evan Nielsen this week to enable upgrading Tav to Bruno next week. Only one free transfer. If you're doing it next week, I probably will do it this week. Take the -4, put the armband on him if that's the way you want to go. If not, leave Ekatika in this week. He could easily do well against Newcastle. I can see that being a good few goals in that game. Last time they played in January 2 years ago, wasn't it 4-2 or something, and Liverpool had the next year 7 point something. So maybe go with that. Right, Grant. Sakib, Raya, Gab, Mukalele, Kanate, Enzo, Saka, Verts, Shirky, Wilson, Haaland, Hugo. Bench, Dubravka, Krupi, Hall and Dorgu. 4 free transfers, you're in a good position. So any suggestions holding Liverpool attackers for now? Raya, Gabriel, Mukalele, Kanate probably has to go. Enzo, Saka, Verts, Shirky, Wilson, Haaland. Probably need to get Bruno Fernandes in there. If you're doing or Saka to Rice, Verts to Bruno Fernandes, or even a Shirky to Bruno Fernandes, just to set you up for the captaincy then as well. If you want to go Bruno, if you don't want to go Bruno and leave it on Haaland, that's completely fine also. But 4 free transfers, you can probably do a shape up around your team there then as well. Even a Raya to Verbruggen to get a Rice in midfield also. If you want to go Gabriel, Saka and Rice maybe, that could be a shout. But to get Bruno in this week, you probably have to do Rice in for Saka and Shirky up to Bruno Fernandes. If you want to keep Verts, that's a route you're going to have to go through there. Simon, have 1 free transfer and considering Ekatika to Pedro. Already have Chalaba and Enzo Fernandez. Thoughts? Leave it off this week. If you're 1 free transfer, better off saving it for next week and reassess then, and then work towards a double game week then. But Ekatika to Pedro, probably not this week. Ekatika could still do well. Chalaba and Enzo Fernandez is probably enough this week then too. Oh, sorry, Cheos with the donation there. Appreciate that, man. Didn't see that at all. Should I bench Tarkowski for a Yari? Let me have a look here now. Tarkowski up against Brighton. I want to see how many DEFCONs he's got over the last couple. I think every week he's got DEFCON. First off, who is a Yari then as well? A Yari. Unless we're typing in that wrong. Tarkowski for a Yari. Am I being stupid there? Who does a Yari play with? Looking at the DEFCON for Brighton, sorry. Midfield wise. Okay. 11 last week. Hasn't played the week before. 82, 90, 90, 90. Probably would still play Tarkowski with the DEFCON. Let's get a look at Tarkowski's DEFCON here. He got it Monday night, didn't he? Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 9 DEFCONs in his last 10. You've got a pretty much guaranteed extra 2 points before the game even starts. Everything aren't that bad in the fence. I'd go Tarkowski probably over Yari. Sorry for not knowing who Yari is. That's That's not great showing. Big up Era above James Ania, and big up Cheas774 for that donation. Appreciate that. Don't know why it didn't come up on screen. So I really do appreciate that, man. But yeah, no, Tarkowski over him, better chance of extra points for the DEFCON. Leave it at that then as well. Right, Michael, yeah, I got back to you on the Discord. Let me know if that's all good, man. Lord without rings, hello body. I'm on a wild card and can't decide between Mbeumo or Semenyo or Krupi Jr. or Mane. If you think you're going to play Mane in the double game week, go for Mane. An extra route of points there then as well. If you're going to play Krupi Jr. for the next while, probably go with Krupi Jr. But if you're going to bench him for the next couple, no harm just going Mane and saving him for the double game week then. Can't decide between Mbeumo or Semenyo. If you've already got Bruno Fernandes, go with Semenyo. All good there. Morning Niall, what's your wildcard plan? Saving it for now anyway, Jovial. You can see there my team is all good. Just a few hiccups with Ekatike, Van Dijk and Raya. Bench is a bit of a shambles then too, but I'm happy enough to save it until probably 32 by the looks of it, to navigate through those blanks and double game weeks. That's my plan with them. But for now, if you can sort out your team with two, not even free transfers, but 2 or 3 transfers, leave it at that. And yeah, don't use your wildcard there. Hassan, of 2 free transfers, shall I do Foden to Bruno and Ekatike to Thiago? Not enough budget for only Foden to Bruno. Foden to Bruno and Ekatike to Thiago. Go for it. If you're going to captain Bruno Fernandes this week, get that done. Gehi versus Mukilela this week. Gehi, but surely you can start Mukilela this week then as well. Surely. Tarks Cody EFC, definitely an Everton fan here. Can you afford Ekatike to Evan Nielsen, by the way, if you think you prefer Evan Nielsen? You definitely can afford Ekatike to Evan Nielsen if you want to do that. If you want to do that transfer, Evan Nielsen's only about 7 million, but I'd keep Ekatike this week, is what I'm saying. Probably get rid of him next week then. Ekatike captain over Haaland? No. Bruno Fernandes, Haaland is very close. Ekatike, no, I wouldn't even consider him for the Ironman this week. Is it true Ekatike will face 1 match suspension for an Instagram comment? I saw that yesterday. He commented Gehi on Gravin Birch's Instagram. I'm not sure if it was a fake, if it was a fake picture or what, but I did see that. I think he'll be fine. There's no confirmation on the ban. It would be typical if I kept Ekatike and he's banned. But should look at Vestavia on the bench if I have to. If he does, he's been the worst transfer all season. Doing it already has been getting rid of Thiago for Ekatike. I already asked this on YouTube, but are you starting Tarkowski or Wilson? Brain says to go with attacker, but this United team looks really good. Yeah, I think I told you I'm nearly sure start Tarkowski with the DEFCON. With I do think Fulham get one. It's whether or not Wilson will be involved if they do get one. With Tarkowski, you're probably guaranteed 4 points. I'm nearly sure, Blake, I said to start Tarkowski if I'm right in saying that. Probably Tarkowski with the DEFCON. With Wilson, you're hoping he. I do think Fulham gets one. He's their main man. Is he going to get something? I don't know. Probably would still start Tarkowski with a DEFCON there. Where are these questions coming from? I don't see them on YouTube. Not sure what you're on about there, Tarks. Probably on about the video during the week. Ask it in the comments. Maybe that's it. Jack, only 1 free transfer. Where are you gone there? Jack, only 1 free transfer. What's the team, Jack? Can't see your questions. No, can't see it, Jack. Send in what you want. Adam Whelan, sorry. Well, lad, shocking season, so playing the wildcard, 90 points behind him in my mini league. I put Sarr and Evan Nielsen as differentials. Would you do Verbruggen, Chalobah, Senesi, or Sanchez, Munoz, Hill? And what about João Pedro? Verbruggen, Chalobah, and Senesi, yeah, I'd be going for that. Sanchez, Munoz, Hill. Sanchez and Munoz is fine. Hill, it's Hill's spot to lose. Areola has said, but I know Senesi's a good lad for the DEFCON. How has Hill been for the DEFCON? I'm actually not sure. What is he? 3.94 million anyway. Hill, he might have went up in price during the week. 3.9, good going for a starting player anyway. DEFCON, he got it last week anyway. Fair, he got it the week before. Okay, so he's doing well for the DEFCON. Maybe don't worry about Senesi so at that price. Go Sanchez, Munoz, Hill. Okay, maybe Verbruggen, Chalobah, Senesi, Sanchez, Munoz. Okay, yeah, Sanchez, Munoz, Hill, I probably would go with that. And what about Joe Pedro? If you want to go him over to Evan Nielsen, not mad on either. If you're wild carding, make sure you're saving up your transfers to get Thiago in from 27. Joe Pedro isn't the worst this week. Evan Nielsen against Wolves, fair enough. Just with that warning or hint of a warning from Rosenier that there's going to be some rotation, so maybe leave it at that and have Evan Nielsen there. That's what I'll be saying there. Start Mane, Bruno Guimaraes or Richards. Get rid of Bruno Guimaraes. If you have enough to go from Bruno to Enzo, you should surely have enough to go from Bruno to Enzo. Go with that. Would you do Bruno G to Ndai either then as well? Yeah. But get rid of Bruno G. Start Mane. Keep him in your team anyhow for the double game week, of course, but Bruno G to the likes of a Rodgers, Enzo Fernandez, whoever you can afford there. Same question then as well. Karaoke 2582. Start Bruno G or DCL if you can afford Bruno G to Rodgers, Bruno G to Enzo, do that and then start them over Calvert-Lewin. Can't now afford Timber to Gabriel and Van Dijk to Chalobah because of a price rise. Is it crucial to get Gabriel in? If so, likely we need to take Ekitike or Saka out. If you want to go Saka to Rice and then Timber to Gabriel, that's what you have to do there. With Gabriel, he's essential. Timber, he's good. He's not even for attacking returns. Or Gabriel, every corner, every set piece, Arsenal get their aiming for Gabriel. So if you don't have Gabriel, get him in. That's all. Thiago and Krupa Jr. or Evan Nielsen. Afternoon, William then as well, good man. Thiago and Krupa Jr. or Evan Nielsen and Mane on wildcard. Thiago and Krupa Jr., Evan Nielsen and Mane. You could even do out of those Evan Nielsen and Mane just because of the potential double game week for Wolves. As I said, you'll want Thiago from 27. If you're going to start Krupa Jr. every week, leave Krupa Jr. in. But if you think you're going to be only playing Thiago and Haaland, leave him on the bench there. You can just have Mane then as well. Thiago and Mane if you wanted to. Out of those two, short term, Evan Nielsen and Mane. Who have even Bournemouth after this week? Wolves. Are the fixtures even that good? Wolves, Aston Villa, Everton. Where are they there now? West Ham. Okay, they're not the worst to be fair. Evan Nielsen and Mane. So Noel, Sanchez, Timber, Gabriel, Chalobah, Senesi, Fernandez, Rice, Rodgers, Enzo, Haaland, Thiago. Benches Dubravka, Krupa Jr., Hill, Wilson. I played my wildcard. Any suggestions? Sanchez, Timber, Gabriel, Chalobah. Defence is all good. Senesi as well. Fernandez, Rice, Rodgers, Enzo, Haaland, Thiago. Nice wildcard team to be fair. Fernandez, Rice, Rodgers, Enzo. Anyone you're missing in there? Wilson, you have him on the bench, so that's okay. Haaland and Thiago. That's a strong team to be fair. You've three Arsenal already, don't you? Gabriel, Timber and Rice. All good. Maybe even if you're benching Krupa Jr., go with Mane, an extra player for the double game week then. Or the potential double game week. Niall, I took the wildcard since I got to get a rank push up. Psych. Send in the team there. Let's have a look. So best wildcard team, Noel, right. Let's get building a wildcard team for you. So it was on the YouTube video during the week. But if you are looking to use your wildcard, let's make one here then. So I'll be taking out Gabriel, or sorry, I wouldn't be taking out Gabriel, sorry. I'm taking out Esteve, Virgil, Dorgu, all that defence will be gone apart from Gabriel. Saka could probably go. See, the thing about the wildcard is this midfield, the four lads I've in midfield there who would be wanting in the wildcard if it was using my wildcard this week. Ekitike could probably go. Guy can go. So then looking towards Verbruggen. Of course, this thing doesn't let me find him. Verbruggen, Rice, all good there. Who else? Timber, Chalobah. So if anyone's using the wildcard, this is what I'm making a wildcard team here for you. Senesi, sure, we'll throw in Senesi for now. Could even do Hill if you wanted to, but just in case he loses a spot. Last defender, you know what, maybe we'll leave him in there. Restore Ukulele. 14.2. If I wanted to, I could do Mane. 4.6 has gone up to there now, fair enough. And then you have plenty of money in the bank for a second striker there then as well. For the week that's in it, I probably will go Evan Nielsen. He's also risen in price, so 2.5 million in the bank. Anyone else there you want to upgrade could even go from a Wilson to an Mbeumo. I'm nearly sure 8.4. That's a far stronger team there. Bang on. If I wanted to, or else if I wanted another City lad, I could just do Mbeumo to Semenyo. So when you take out Rice, or when you take out Saka for Rice, you're left with plenty of money. So it's close call then between Semenyo and Mbeumo. Maybe, do you know what, just because I have Bruno Fernandes. How are City's fixtures? Spurs, Liverpool, Fulham, Newcastle, Leeds, and United's then. How are we looking? Fulham, Tottenham, West Ham. I probably would go Mbeumo over Semenyo. Do you know that? Could even go Cunha if you wanted to, with that injury to Dorgu. Cunha could come back into the team. That's a wildcard team there. Do let us know what you think of that. You have your double Chelsea, Mane on the bench up until that potential double game week. Rice, Gabriel, and Timber. They're the pretty much three you want there anyway. Chalobah, Senesi, Ukulele then as well. But yeah, if you're wildcarding, take a look at that team. That's what I'd probably do there. You might not be able to afford Mbeumo. That's exactly 0.0 in the bank for me there. If you can't get Mbeumo, go Semenyo. Could you even afford Cunha if you wanted to with that injury to Dorgu? Cunha 8. If you can't go Mbeumo, can maybe go Cunha. Much of a muchness between the two of them. But yeah, that's if I was wildcarding, that's what I'd be going for there then as well. Right, go back to the normal team here. So that was the wildcard team. Hope you took a picture of that because it's gone off screen there. But yeah, that's what I'd be looking at this week. As I said, if I was wildcarding, Rodgers, Enzo, Wilson, and Bruno would be in my wildcard team. If it wasn't going Mane, if it was going Thiago and Evan Nielsen up front, I wouldn't be able to afford them, so Wilson would still be in the team. But at least 3 out of those 5 midfielders is who I'd want in my wildcard team. Rice over Saka if I could to save a bit of money. And yeah, that's what I'd be going for there. William in the chat then. William, good to see you, man. Would you take a -4 for Thiago to Munoz? A or B Hoaxa? Probably not. Surely you can get away with the rest of your defence without taking a hit. Let's get William's team up here then in the Discord. What are we saying, man? 1 free transfer and 0.1 in the bank. Thoughts? Raya, Gabriel, Keane, Ukulele, Enzo, Saka, Rodgers, Bruno, Wilson, Ekatike, Haaland up front. Same front 7 as me, which is good to see. Hall on the bench. 1 free transfer, 0.1 in the bank. Any thoughts? Keane might be a risk. Let's have a look at Everton's team on Monday night against Leeds. He was on the bench, was he? Was Brantwaite straight back in, I think, wasn't he? So you might have an issue with Keane. Yeah, no, he didn't play. Tarkowski, Jacob, Ryan, Mikalenko, Patterson. Was that Patterson for Brandt? No, Brandt had come on at half time anyway. Yeah, so it looks, or is only that because Keane was suspended? I think it was, wasn't he? It's a risk. At least you have some cover on the bench at least in Hall if needs be. I'd probably move a stay a bit for a sub there, to be honest, there with you, William. Do let us know if that's alright, but yeah, I'd probably go with that. Would you start Wilson or Mane this week? Probably Wilson. Oh lass, I can see United conceding. I can see us winning, but I can also see United conceding. Would like to roll here, Ryan. What are you thinking? Raya, Gabriel, Virgil, Esteve, Enzo, Bruno, Saka, Wilson, Rodgers, Thiago, and Haaland. Yeah, I'd roll there. Right, nearly 10 past 12. We've a lot of messages to get through in the Patreon then as well. Keep the questions coming in on stream also. William in the Discord, do let us know if that's alright, man. And how we looking here then as well. Am I making any changes for now, Abdullah? No, I'm looking to roll. Sell Shirky to Ndai. If you have a couple of free transfers, there's absolutely nothing wrong with going for that move. So go with that if you wanna go away from the potential Pep roulette this week again then as well. Wouldn't be able to do Hall to Chalobah move. That would leave me 0.4 short. 1.2 after those moves. If you want to keep Wirtz. Have to forget about Bruno. So grand. Some Liverpool fan in the Discord. To be fair, he wants to keep Wirtz, so that's why. Ideally, hopefully more green arrows, William. What's the rank at now, William? You're absolutely flying this season. Do let us know. Right, back up to the questions there then as well. Smile on point, Harry. Appreciate that. Start Van Heck or Keane? You can start Keane. Hope he starts. If not, although Van Heck is partial to an attacking return also. Cannot do Gab directly. Need cash to upgrade. Would have kept Ekatike after his performance. Go for those moves. Gab is priority. Right, grand. John Baker. Team is a new problem in Watkins. I thought I'd be doing Bruno to Enzo, but now it seems Watkins is the bigger problem. Any advice? One free transfer and not looking good. Donnarumma, Gabriel, Virgil, Mukulele, Saka, Rice, Bruno, Bruno G, Wilson, Watkins, Haaland. How much in the bank, John? Michael, interesting. Who would I be replacing in the team? Wilson to get Mbeumo. Right, back to the YouTube here. There, we're going to chop and change it into two. On wildcard this week and going Palmer over Haaland. I'm planning to swap him again in game of 28. No, I have Haaland and Palmer. He's okay to start, but I don't think he'll. I'm not even that confident of him starting, to be honest with you. But he won't play 90. That Arsenal game on mine then too. So no, Haaland over Palmer any day of the week. I'm even considering captaining Haaland over Bruno. But no, go with that. Eddie here then as well. Missed the same team. Just 3 free transfers and 0.6. Raya, Virgil, Chalobah, Gabriel, Timber, Anderson, Gordon, Rodgers, Foden, Haaland, Ekatike. Foden to Bruno and Gordon with odds left. On the bench there, who's at Dewsbury Hall, Esteve, Guy then as well. Finton, 1 free transfer, 0.7 in the bank. Looking at rolling. Pickford, Chalobah, Gabriel, Timber, Enzo, Saka, Rodgers, Garner, Bruno Fernandes, Captain, Haaland and Thiago. Roll there. All good. Right, Ryan is happy with that. Good stuff. Ideal. Deal done. Have a great bank holiday. You too, man. Good stuff, John. Scott, what's your thoughts on my team? Raya, Gabriel, Mukulele, Tarkowski, Chalobah, Enzo, Bruno, Saka, Wilson, Haaland and Thiago. You can roll. Mo, what are we saying? Got 4.2 million in the bank, 1 free transfer. Can move anyone to Bruno or even a -4. Turkey and Bruno G out to Bruno for F and Rodgers. Bench is a bit of an issue there. Bruno G to Bruno F anyway. All depends if you think he'll start. If you think you've no cover on the bench. Right, let's go back to the YouTube comments here. We're trying to work through the Patreon as much as we can. On wildcard this week and going Palmer. Yeah, we did that one. Have the money on wildcard to do Sanchez over Verbruggen, or would it be better to have more funds? Have the money on wildcard to do Sanchez over Verbruggen. If you already have Chalobah, just go with go for Bruggen. No point to double up on them. That's all good. Well, unless they double, but we don't know that. Incognito, Heyman on a wildcard. Who to pick between these three? João Pedro, Evan Nielsen or Thiago. If you can go Evan Nielsen this week, then work towards getting Thiago from game week 27. Go with that. Already got Palmer. Fair enough. If you're on wildcard, I don't think I'll be going Palmer though. Starter and Dye on wildcard. And Dye out of those. Mr. Donald Moran, hope you're keeping well, man. Good afternoon, Niall. Got rid of Foden and O'Reilly this week for Bruno Fernandes and Richards. All good there. Bruno was the priority to get in there, so that's all good there. Get those in and get the captaincy on Bruno then as well. Kevin, what do you think about Enzo captain or play it safe with Haaland? Bruno Fernandes and Haaland are very close. You know what? We're gonna get a poll going then as well here in the chat. Let's see who everybody is captaining this week. Who's thought the space bar wasn't working there for a sec. Lovely. This week, Haaland. There's only two. Haaland, Bruno. Do you know what? We'll throw in JP then as well. Let's see what the chat is saying to that then as well. Right, back to this. Mbeumo captaincy. If you don't have Bruno, why not? He should be playing on front end again, so yeah, go for that. Mbeumo captaincy, nothing wrong with it. Any punt suggestions on wildcard for Chase and Rank? Mbeumo there if you want to get him in. Evan Nielsen is a decent shout then as well. Senesi, a lot of people won't have Bournemouth defenders. Who else is going to go for? I'd stay away from Palmer, to be honest with you, so leave off him. Don't worry about that. And yeah, they're the main punts anyway. Should I do -4 to buy Bruno? I need to sell Ekatike. If you're looking to captain Bruno, go for it. If not, leave it off. No point taking the -4 if you're not going to captain him. Would you do Minta to Enzo for -4, or start Minta or Bowen? You can probably start Bowen, can't you? West Ham against Chelsea. They might sneak one, would they? Start Minta or Bowen. Not worth a -4. I probably would still start Bowen. Go with that. Bring in Pedro and Mbeumo for Ekitike and Gordon for a -4. I'm assuming you need the money. If you don't need the money, Gordon to Mbeumo. Gordon to Enzo is what you should be doing there. Should have got rid of him last week, but hindsight's a great thing, not a great team. Not for a -4, no. Probably Gordon to Enzo, and get yourself a Chelsea cover there then. Let us know if that's alright. Ali Niki, let me know on that, man. Also JP in for Thiago. Don't think so. Leave him there. Don't, unless if did you say you're wild carding or no? No. Don't bother taking that for a hit. Definitely not. Leave that off there. João Pedro is a form player. Definitely is. Just the way Rosnier's hinting at that. I don't think I would. Bro, have a good weekend. Right, good stuff. What's best to bench boost? Depends on your bench, Tom. Let us know how your bench is looking. Ali Kabakti, bring in Pedro and Mbeumo for Ekitike and Gordon for -4. If you can do that for free, Gordon to Mbeumo, go for that. If not, Gordon to Enzo Fernandez, and at least you're getting your Chelsea lad in there. In Dyer, Anderson on wildcard. In Dyer's a more exciting pick. If you need the money, nothing wrong going with Anderson. As I said earlier, if Anderson is getting DEFCON over the next few weeks, 3 DEFCON in the space of 3 DEFCON in the space of 3 weeks is the equivalent of getting a goal in FPL. So if you need the money to upgrade elsewhere, probably go to Anderson. He's a lad that'll get 4 points every week. Nothing wrong with that at all. Blake, wildcarded in GW24. Bench is the Lap, Munoz and Krupi this week. Should have bench boost. Wildcard in GW2. Bench is the Lap, Munoz. Why do you have the Lap in your team? Wow. I'm not sure. Just because you're not sure if the Lap is going to play. Munoz and Krupi is fine. It's just whether or not the Lap is going to play that game. He might easily. Incognito saying Enzo and JP won't start. Andre and the Lap are going to start. I wouldn't be surprised if JP is benched for the Lap. I just don't think, with the risk of potentially bench boosting this week, I don't know if I'll be going for that, to be honest with you. Maybe not. Enzo then as well. He's another risk then too. But I have a save on the bench if needs be. It's not ideal, but I think there's more chance of a Palmer benching than an Enzo benching. So we'll see how we get on there. Right, pick a third defender: Orlando, Anderson, Collins or Hall to play this week. Anderson, you could probably get DEFCON. Hall, probably more chance of a yellow card. Can see Liverpool getting a couple, especially with them being at home. Collins against Aston Villa, you're probably looking towards DEFCON between Collins and Anderson. Let's see how Collins has fared out on the DEFCON over the last while. Anderson has been good, I know that. 5 minutes for Collins. Mike is after scaring us there, breaking. It always does this, it always falls down. We're back anyway. But there, Collins anyway for the DEFCON. 5, 7, 10. Better chance of Anderson getting DEFCON. So looking at that summary over his last couple of weeks, so maybe leave off that and go Anderson. Can see them all conceding there, really. Just get those in there as well. Right, keep the questions coming if you can. I have a lot of ones to answer over on Patreon anyway, where the deadline is an hour and 13 away. If you are watching, keep the questions coming in. Let's try and keep everyone entertained for the next while or so. Right, good for you to get through on the Patreon here then as well. AX, any transfer: Raya, O'Brien, Gabriel, Mukalele, Dorgu, Anderson, Bruno, Rodgers, Saka, Enzo, Ekitike, Haaland and Guy up front. So O'Brien, Gabriel, Mukalele is all fine there. Anderson, Bruno, Rodgers, Saka, Enzo, Haaland and Ekitike. You can roll there, man. All good there. Jay, my right role mate would have Cunha. Not ideal, I know, given he's not started the last couple of. Knowing my luck, I'll do a sideways move in his start. At least he's returning. Who would you advise and who would you bench? Looking at that team there. Raya, Gahey, Gabriel, Mukalele, Rodgers, Enzo, Semenyo, Rice, Cunha, Haaland and Thiago. Because you've got no Bruno, you're going to have to captain Haaland. You can roll there. think the team would try and start Senesi, but the defense is strong. Right, good stuff. Let's keep this going. Keep the questions coming in then as well. But at Orlando, out of those, Anderson, Collins, or Hall, I'd be starting Anderson there just with the DEFCON. David McCarty here. Sanchez, Timber, Gabriel, Ballard. He's benching Semenyo. Wow, what is he doing? Enzo, Ndai, Bruno, Mbeumo, Haaland, Robbie up front then as well. Have to start Semenyo. Benching Semenyo is crazy. Thiago Alderete, you could nearly bench Boost either. Right, let me know on that then as well. Right then, going through this then as well. John, who's a bigger problem? Should I move one of them? 0.4. Watkins probably has to go then as well. Watkins first, but the striker options are poor. Right, all good there then as well. Dominique in the chat there. Wildom, what are we saying there? With Wilson, what's the question on Wilson? Dominic, do let us know. Wilson to Mbeumo, Semenyo for -4. Definitely don't do that, no. Not worth a -4 for free. Even at a push for free, maybe. But with the fact the form Wilson's in, no, I wouldn't be doing that, no. What about the lineup there? Good to go. Yeah, good to go. Right, I'm still trying to decide on the captaincy then as well. What's the chat saying here? 59% on Bruno Fernandes. So a lot of people going Bruno this week. Fair enough, considering United's form. Thinking of saving now that since Double Game Week 26 was announced, I will have 4 transfers for it. Half injured Palmer got more points in the last 5 than Saka. Only 5 changes, and one of them is Palmer. Yeah, save it. Right, all good there. Right, keep the questions coming, which is good to see. I'm just going through some Patreon questions here then as well, just to keep you all going. Thoughts on Thiago, Vanilson, Ekatika, the JP, or just roll? So that's Sanchez, Alderete, O'Reilly, Gabriel, Enzo, Rice, Rogers, Bruno, Wilson, Thiago, Ekatika, Haaland. Very strong team. Roll. You've a bench and headache. As is. Right, good stuff. Paul in the chat then, good to see you, Paul. Pacey Genny, I got Palmer captain. I wouldn't be considering Palmer captain this week. He won't play 90. Rosanier said he's fine to start. He might even save him for the Arsenal game then as well. So I'm expecting a rotated Chelsea side. If you have Palmer, you keep him. If you don't have him, you don't go for him. If you're on wildcard, I don't think you go for him then as well. So leave off that then as well. Eccles, MJ, hi mate, have 3 free transfers. Would you do O'Reilly to Hill, Richards and Szoboszlai to Mbeumo this week? Have Raya, Gabby, Van Dijk, Anderson, Dorgu, Enzo, Rice, Rogers, Bruno, Ekatika, Haaland and Guy. Thank you mate. Right, so what are you asking? O'Reilly to Hill or Richards and Szoboszlai to Mbeumo this week? So what's your team there? Enzo, Rice, Rogers, Bruno. Probably would, yeah. Get O'Reilly gone. Szoboszlai is going to be moved back to that right back role with Frimpong getting injured during the week. So maybe do that there then as well. Morning, think I'm on the right account. Mono, you definitely are. Best of luck today. Why is everyone going Bruno captain? I'm confused. He's playing in an advanced role. United are team in form. I'm not fully convinced he's going to fully outscore Haaland. It is going to be close. But I'm on Bruno for now. Defcon, if you can even get Defcon, with him playing centre attack in midfield, but with him in that advanced position, penalties, set pieces, that's why the majority ones are going on Bruno Fernandes. I'm happy enough to go there. Extra point for a goal, extra point for a clean sheet, which I don't think they'll get anyway, so forget about that. But 2 extra for Defcon if he does get it. And it's just the form Haaland's in at the moment. 90 minutes during the week was strange that he did play 90 minutes Haaland. But sure, look, Pep is Pep, and he needed a rest him against Wolves, then starts him and then doesn't take him off against Galatasaray. Was definitely a weird one. But Mono, let us know what the team is looking like, and good to see you dropping in as always. Good man. 1 free transfer, thinking Wilson to Enzo. Hard to sell Wilson but can't ignore Chelsea's fixtures. One free transfer. You can't afford Enzo. Is Enzo not like 7 or what is he? Or is he 6'1"? 6.7. One free transfer. You can't get to him in one move. So not worth the hit. Right, grand. LS there, grand. Who to start? Timber, Gabriel, Ballard, Chalaba. Bench boost there. Jeez, I can't even type. Good. Nearly. Bench boost. Grand. David McCarthy, grand. Who to start? Wilson, if so, over who? FPL. So Donnarumma, Virgil, Chalaba, Gabriel, Ukulele, Rogers, Bruno, Saka, Anderson, Haaland, and João Pedro. Looking at that, I'd probably bench him. Grand. Evan, all good there. JE, good to go. FPL. I would suggest any other transfers. I have 2 free transfers: Alderete, Gabriel, Tarkowski, Rice, Rodgers, Semenyo, Bruno Fernandes, João Pedro, Haaland, and Thiago. Good to go. James, good man. Keep the questions coming in then as well. We've an hour and 6 to go until the deadline. And if you are watching and you haven't clicked subscribe, head on down there, please. Click subscribe on the channel. We're on the road to 9k subs. About 190 off it there. So fingers crossed by February we might have hit 9k. Let's see. Raya, Ukulele, Gabriel, Virgil, Saka, Wilson, Rodgers, Enzo, Foden, Haaland, Ekatike. Foden has to go. I have 2 free transfers, 0.5 in the bank. What can you do there? Esteve to get Bruno. Prob, Saka to Rice, and Foden to Bruno. Let me know if that's alright, Dwayne. Not ideal getting rid of Saka when you know he's going to start, but Rice is probably the better shout long term. Coops in the chat then as well. Cooper, sorry, not Coops. We've a Coops in the Patreon. We'll get to you in a second here then as well, just making sure everyone is replied to here. Really stuck here. 2 big problems in Bruno G and Watkins. Only 1 transfer. Any advice? Watkins to Evan Nielsen, I think. Grand. C. Raya, Virgil, Gahey, Ukulele, Garner, Vert, Saka, Bruno, Enzo, Ekatike, Haaland. Oh, I'd roll. See there, so Virgil, Gahey, Ukulele, Garner, Vert, Saka, Bruno, Enzo, Ekatike, Haaland. Nothing wrong with that team. Right, all good there. See, where are you gone? Right, a couple more to get back to, but the questions are still coming in on here, which is great to see. 3 free transfers, 0.9 in the bank. How to bring in Bruno Fernandes and what else to do? Any ideas, please? 9 in the bank to get Bruno, Foden to Bruno, Saka to Rice. Grand. TB, Tommy, Donnarumma, Gahey, Virgil, Gabriel, Enzo, Bruno, Saka, Stash. Rio is very weird. Haaland, Ekatike. Wow, what are you doing with Rio from Liverpool? Haaland, Ekatike. Virgil. 4-3. Oh my god, wow. First team I've seen with Rio. What can you do there? Gahey, Virgil, Gabriel, Anderson, Enzo, Bruno, Saka, Stash in Rio, Haaland, Ekatike. So, maybe Saka to Rice and Rio to Rodgers to sort the midfield. Right, Tommy, how did you end up with that? I don't know. Hi boss, should I make any moves or roll this week? Raya, Ukulele, Gabriel, Virgil, Rice, Wilson, Bruno, Rodgers, Garner, Haaland, and Ekatike. Roll. All good there, Josh. Right. FPL, any thoughts? Virgil, Gabriel, Chalaba, Ukulele, Saka, Rodgers, Enzo, and Mbeumo, Haaland, and Thiago. Roll again. If you can at all, roll. Roll. Tarek, good stuff, man. All good there. 3 free transfers, Connor, 1.9 in the bank. Raya, Virgil, O'Reilly, Alderete, Saka, Enzo, Sobosai, Rogers, Wilson, Haaland, Ekatike. Saka to Rice, Sob to Bruno. Should be able to do that. What time are you doing live stream? Live now, Ash. Grand. See in the chat there then as well. Raya, Virgil, Mukulele, Gabriel, Semenyo, Enzo, Saka, Rogers, Wilson, Ekatike, Haaland. Roll. Can you get to Bruno? No, you can't. Right. Back to the YouTube chat here then as well. That's everyone got back to now in the Patreon. One more just came in there. Instead of wildcard, I could take a -4 bringing in Gab and Semenya for Dorgu and Saka. See, instead of wildcard, I could take a -4 bringing in Gab and Semenya for Dorgu and Saka. Gab is a priority. Maybe just go for it. And then Leo here then as well. Thoughts: 1 free transfer: Virgil, Chalobah, Gabriel, Kuna, Enzo, Rogers, Captain, Wilson, Haaland, Thiago, Ekatike. Can roll. If no, Bruno. Right, let's get back to the YouTube chat here then as well. That's everyone back to the Patreon for now. 12:30, an hour to go until the deadline. Let's get the business part of the stream up and running now. So, right, good stuff. Mono, let me know if that's all good. Everyone's going Bruno Fernandes because of it. He's in a centre attacking midfielder role. Pacey, Genny, I got Ekatike, Palmer and Shirky with 1 free transfer. What would you do? Ekatike keep. How much are you in the bank though? Do let us know. Palmer can probably, if the fact he's going to start, probably leave that off. Shirky with 1 free transfer, what would you do? Let me know how much you've in the bank. Zafran, 1 free transfer. Should I sell Foden for Enzo or Mbeumo? Captain is Bruno. Probably for Mbeumo. Foden to Mbeumo. Nothing wrong with that there. Harry Mabit, sorry. Hey mate, got 3 free transfers. Which 3 would you go for? Bruno G, Garner, Ekatike, Bruno Fernandes, Enzo, Krupp. You like that one already. Or Saka, Garner, Ekatike, Bruno Fernandes, Enzo, Joe Pedro in. Saka, Garner, Ekatike. Bruno G, Garner, Ekatike out. Bruno Fernandes, Enzo, Krupp in. Or Saka. First one. At least it allows you to keep Saka. He should start this week. He owes us a lot of points this week. So let's see where we end up on that then as well. But for now, first one there. Reassess how Saka gets on this week. At least you'll have money in your bank then if you do Saka to Rice before the double game week. Let's see how that goes. But yeah, that's what I'll be saying there. Why are so many selling Ekatike? Do you think just knee jerking after the benching against Bournemouth? I do think he starts against Newcastle, a goal and assist during the week then as well. But after this week, I think he's a sell for me for sure. Just need him to start at least, and if he starts, I'm confident of at least 1 return. Yeah, so let's see how we go. Cooper, hey era, only 1 free transfer. Best replacement for Dorgu. And other defenders are Gabriel, Timber, Thiaw, Rodon. Do a transfer out Dorgu or bench and play Shaw or Thiaw. Sorry, not Shaw. If you have a couple of free, you're only 1 free transfer. Gabriel, Timber, maybe even just Dorgu to Mukulele. You can afford that there, so I'll probably just go for that. Let me know if that's alright, Cooper. Good man. Rupert, good afternoon, mate. Hope all is well. I am in quite the dilemma right now with Watkins out. Do I take a hit to bring in JP? Also considering Mbeumo captain. Rupert, sending the rest of your team there. I'm not that confident of he's in good form, but there's a chance JP could be benched this week with the Arsenal game in mind on Tuesday. The Lap could probably easily come into that team. Looking at the Chelsea forums, they're saying the Lap could start this game, which I don't question that, to be honest with you. So maybe leave off the JP transfer. Maybe even Evan Nielsen is a safer pick to come into the team this week. Considering Mbeumo captain, if you don't have Bruno Fernandes, Mbeumo captaincy is fine there. What do you reckon the best midfielder for up to 6.2 million is? 6.2, I think it's going to be Wilson at that price. We were looking earlier. Anderson isn't a bad shout at all. At what is he, 5.4 now, or could be gone up a bit more with more people bringing him in with all the DEFCON. So 6.2, 5.3. Anderson is there. Tavernier is obviously out injured. Casemiro, no, leave off that. I was just looking at the DEFCON. Lafille on penalties for Sunderland, but he missed his last one. Will he be taken off them? Probably might want to take them off him. Ndai, 6.2. What was the question? There you go. 6.2. Ndai is your man there. Get him into the team. Just back. Fixtures aren't the worst. Brighton, Fulham, Bournemouth, United, Newcastle for Everton. Not mad on the clean sheet potential there, but on the attacking threat, wouldn't say no. Ndai is their main man. I know he didn't get a return last week when they scored, but the fact he's on penalties, I'm going to guess he got 7 or 8 DEFCON against Leeds. 7, yeah. So he's a good lad for the DEFCON then as well. If he does pick it up, that's an extra 2 points. 6.2, I'd be going with Ndai there for sure. Get him into the team there. Good stuff. Right, let me just move this up a tiny bit more so you can see all that. Lovely. Rupert, let me know if that's alright. And Set Smoker, probably Ndai at that price. Alright, where's the next question? The dude brother, Verts to Rodgers or just roll? Probably just roll there, to be honest with you. Verts isn't the worst shout. Rodgers is his attacking threat going to be affected with Jesus Christ, with Watkins out, but Tammy Abraham coming back into that team there. Sign in January, maybe it might be okay, but for now I'd leave Verts one more week. Maybe next week then go with that. Just look at myself, looking back at there at the tongue twister. What do I bench, Cash or Mugalele? Who do I bench, Cash or Mugalele? Bench Cash. That Monday night fixture for Sunderland is a nice one, and especially with Sunderland at home, they're always good for defence at home. They looked poor against West Ham last week. Mugalele, when he was coming off, was arguing with the manager also, which isn't great to see. I don't think he'll be benched anyway. I think he was just frustrated with the result as well. So no, start Mugalele over Cash. Just quiz shorts. Bench one of Timber, Alderete, Chalaba, Lafille, Enzo and Ekatike. If you're benching one, maybe just Alderete, maybe Timber, Chalaba, Lafille. You probably have to start Lafille because he's on penalties, so maybe that's what you go there. And Enzo and Ekatike, you have to start those two. Enzo potentially going to be on penalties if Palmer is on the pitch, and Ekatike at that price. If you're not starting Ekatike at that price, just get rid of him. It's not worth him in the team at all. Nearly on 50 likes in the chat, which is great to see. If you are watching and you haven't clicked like on the stream, go down there. As I said, or as I keep saying, let's try and get this pushed out to a few more people around the world. And we're nearly on 8,820 subs. We're just 2 subs off that. So if you are watching and you haven't clicked subscribe, head on down there, please. Click subscribe on the channel. Your support is greatly appreciated, as it has been all season so far. Kevin Turan, start or bench? Gabriel, Timber, Wilson, Semenyo, Anderson. Start or bench? Gabriel, Timber. Out of those, start Gabriel. You can probably get Timber back into the team shortly if you can. And then Wilson, Semenyo or Anderson. Probably would be benching Wilson just out of those. It's a bit boring. You have to start Semenyo with Anderson. If that's the Forest Anderson, good chance of DEFCON, as we were chatting about there. But Wilson, as I said, I do expect Fulham to score. It's just whether you want to hedge your bets on him returning against United. I have him in the team there, but I've only got a Steve on the bench, so I'm not too fussed about starting Wilson. I know he's against United, but I do think we'll concede. Here we go soon. The Premier League. Guess who? What's that about? Trying to decide between O'Reilly and Anderson. Right, a few not captain and Haaland. Is that yeah, that's a piss take. Grand. Right, start Krupi or Senesi this week. Probably Senesi, DEFCON and clean sheet potential. I know Krupi's going to be playing in that side, but I'd go Senesi just about. Rice and Mbuemo or Rodgers and Semenyo. You want Rice for the double game, so Rice and Mbuemo. Could even do Rice and Semenyo if you wanted to there. Who do I bench? Cash or Mugalele? Yeah, Cash there. Adrian, start Cash or Tarkowski? Probably just Tarkowski with the DEFCON. Better chance of Cash getting a yellow card than a return there, to be honest with you. You can see Brentford probably sneaking one. Kamara, McGinn, Watkins out for Villa. They might struggle. I hope they don't, because I've Rodgers in the team. With the fact that Abraham is coming into the team, maybe it might be alright. But no, I'd go Rodgers. Or no, sorry, I'd go Tarkowski and bench Cash there. Start Croupier, Senesi again there. Yeah, Senesi. Just would you captain Saka, Jackson? I don't think so. He owes us points anyway. But no, I don't think I'd captain Saka. But that's the thing. Then we've got a 10 million player on our team. I'm not even considering captain him. Maybe that's why I should be getting rid of him for Rice. But let's see how he gets on. Is it today at 3 o'clock? Oh jeez. Right, we're after losing the live stream there. We're still going. Yeah, we're good. Right, the page just. We're still going. Yeah, grand. The live stream just crashed there, but we're back. What were we saying? I don't know if that came up on your screen there, but the whole page just went there for me. But we're back, all good there. We're up and running sound. But a captain Saka, no, with the fact he's 10 million in the game, if we're not even considering captain him, maybe that's all that I need to know, and go Saka to Rice. But for now, he's in the team. He owes us a few points. That's what I was looking at. Is the game today? It is, isn't it? It's at 3 o'clock. Yeah, 3 o'clock. So let's see how he goes. Would you start O'Reilly or Van de Ven? O'Reilly. Van de Ven has an issue. He has been back on grass, but he didn't play during the week. Maybe start O'Reilly in the hope he does start. I do think Spurs struggling in that game. Lord without rings, Senesi or Cash as a long-term rotation pick. Probably Senesi. Let's have a look at Villa's fixtures. I don't think they looked great for clean sheet returns anyway, or clean sheet potentials. From game week 27 onwards, fair enough. Well, you only get 2 transfers. Well, you only get 2 nice fixtures there, really. Senesi then, how are Bournemouth's fixtures? Bournemouth's fixtures weren't the worst. We were looking at them earlier. Maybe just Senesi, just about. But yeah, more chance of DEFCON from Senesi. Cash always loves the yellow, but he does it like the occasional attack and return. But I think I'd go Senesi, yeah. I made my transfers, John. Verts to Bruno and took a bit to go Ekatika to João Pedro, Bruno captain. Nice one. Hopefully you do well this week, good man. Verts to Bruno. If you're giving him the armband, look to be the right move anyway there. Just quiz shorts bench, one of Timber, Alderete, Chalobah, Lafi, Enzo and Ekatika. Probably benching Alderete there. As I said, if you have Lafi, if he's on penalties, you have to start him there. Fede 2-3-3-3 wildcard in this game. Sanchez, Dubravka, Gabriel, Timber, Hill, Cash, Richards, Enzo, Bruno, Rodgers, Wilson, Haaland, Evan Nielsen, Pedro. 0.7 in the bank. Any suggestions? Sanchez, Gabriel, Timber, Hill, Cash. So you're going to start a wildcard in this game. Like, wow, Sanchez, Gabriel, Timber, Enzo, Bruno, Rodgers, Wilson, Haaland, Evan Nielsen. You've only got 2 Arsenal players. You need Declan Rice in midfield there if you're not going for a third one. Probably. How do you get money there though? Downgrade Pedro's a Krupi, and then upgrade Wilson to Declan Rice. You need him for the double game week. Not ideal, but yeah, that's what I'll be saying there. Get him into the team there. Thanks as always, mate. Cooper. Thank you for tuning in. Good man. Antos98. Thanks for keeping me going through a gym session. Best of luck this week, Antos. Appreciate that, man. Cheers for tuning in during your gym session. Good man. Really do appreciate that, man. Hope you had a good session as well, and best of luck for the week. Eccles, MJ, last question, mate. Who to replace O'Reilly with Hill or Richards or any other 4.7 and below? Any Bournemouth fans out there know if Hill is nailed? Looks like it from what I've seen, yeah. The manager said, Areola says it's his spot to lose, and he's taking his moment as he has been. 3.9 million for Hill, nothing wrong with that then as well. But if you can't get to Chalobah, which is saying you can't, with 4.7 in the bank, Mukalele isn't the worst shout if you don't have Mukalele. But if not, Hill isn't a bad shout. Then you're saving 0.8 where you can upgrade your midfield. So why not just go for that? Right then, Mustafa. Look, our last question, Eccles. Sorry, yeah, we got that. Sorry, yeah. Nothing wrong with going Hill if you want to. If not, Mukalele, go with that. Mustafan 1830. Start 2. Chalobah, Munoz or Mukalele. Chalobah and Mukalele, I think. Munoz is up against Forest. Am I right in saying that? With Mateta is on his way to Forest potentially. Start 2. Chalobah, Mukalele. It's bad to be benching Munoz at that price as well. If you're benching Munoz, you should probably get rid of him. Chalaban Munoz, probably, but I'd be saying Chalaban Mukalele. That fixture on a Monday night, especially with Sunderland at home, it could be a cagey enough affair as well. So I think I'd go with them. But it feels wrong benching Munoz if you have him. So maybe you just have to go Chalaban Munoz. But I'd be saying Chalaban Mukalele. So take of that what you will. Right then. All good there. Bench 1, Timber or Wilson? Probably Wilson, start Timber there. Do you think swapping Dorgu to Maguire is a good call? Yeah, if you were asking me this during the week, I don't think United keep many clean sheets over the next while. Dorgu was Dorgu, with the fact that he was playing left wing. We United know. Let me have a look at the fixtures here. So we've got Fulham, Tottenham, West Ham away. Everything Crystal Palace. They're not the worst fixtures, but Fulham could easily score against us today. Spurs, West Ham, Everton then as well, even Crystal Palace. So wouldn't be that confident of us even getting max one clean sheet over those games. So I don't think I'd be going Maguire. He's a slight attacking threat from set pieces of Maguire, but no, I don't think I'd be going that route there. Dorgu to Maguire, a good call. If that's the only issue in your team, if you can bench Dorgu, if the same defense as me there, Virgil, Gabriel, and Mukalele, there's no point going with that. Leave off Maguire and reassess. Transfers down the line are going to be a lot more valuable than doing a Dorgu to Maguire pick. So that's all I'm going to say there. And that's me as a United fan saying that as well. Right, we're nearly on 50 likes. One like off 50. Nearly 40, 50 in the chat there then as well. If you are watching and you haven't clicked subscribe, go down there, click subscribe on the channel, and give the stream a like, and we'll get to 50 likes. And yeah, appreciate that as always. Bench Wilson or Thiago? Stephen, I think you bench Wilson. Thiago on penalties then as well. A couple of injuries to Aston Villa, as we were saying. Maybe just go with that. Start 1, Richards, Hill or Cash? Hill with that fixture against Wolves. He's actually been very good for the DEFCON returns as well. Hill, which is very surprising, priced at 3.9 million as well. He could be one going under the radar there for sure. In Dyer, Rodgers on wildcard. Zaid, go with Rodgers. Get in Dyer if you can, but I'm assuming if you're downgrading one of your strikers to the likes of a Krupi or Mane, you can afford better midfielders and than in Dyer. You can get the likes of an Enzo, Bruno, Rice, Roger, or sorry, even who we were chatting about earlier, even a Semenyo or an Mbeumo. But out of those, in Dyer or Rodgers, I go Rodgers. But yeah, great to see Finishes on the score sheet again. He's flying. He must be playing in the early kickoff. Let's see. Need him to keep up this form anyway coming into this game in March. Where is the championship here? Didn't realise he went to Southampton. Fair enough. I thought he was still at Middlesbrough. Good stuff. Where are Southampton in the table? 12th. Middlesbrough second. Wow, he was with Middlesbrough before that, was he not? But fair. Good to see him scoring anyway. Keep up that form for March. He might be on a plane to the USA. Right, good stuff. We hit 50 likes there, which is great to see. Really do appreciate that. 45 minutes to go until the deadline. We're nearly on 1,000 views, which is great to see as always. Keep the questions coming. Mono, here we go. Mono, sorry now, I didn't scroll down. Sanchez, Nunez, Gabriel, Alderete, Saka, Rice, Enzo, Bruno Fernandes, Haaland, João Pedro, Krupi. Benches, Dubravka, Wilson, Thiago, Van der Ven. 2 free transfers done. Watkins to João Pedro, Bruno G to Bruno Fernandes. All good there. This lineup okay. I did Watkins out to João Pedro so I could sell Bruno Guimaraes to Bruno Fernandes without selling Saka. Nothing wrong with that. Leave it at that there. Good man. If you're captain and Bruno, yeah, that's nothing wrong with those moves. All good there, Mono. Slight concern whether or not João Pedro is going to be benched or not. There's talk of Delap going to start this game, but sure, look, the moves are done. Bruno Fernandes captain, you're good to go. Tarek as well from the Patreon. Tarek, hope all is well, man. I got back to you earlier. Make sure you're okay with what I said and get your team locked in, man. I'd say just get rid of it now. You can't make there'll be injuries. Did he use his wildcard last week? Yeah. It'll be hard to make a bench boost with no wildcard. Grand, right. One of my Patreon members used his wildcard last week. He's well set up for a bench boost this week, but he's asking me, should you not save it for later on the season? If you've used your wild card and you're looking to potentially use it later on the season, don't do that. Just get rid of it now when you have a chance to play it. Do it. Right, Grant. Captain shout. I'm on Bruno there, Jay. Who else have we there? What's your opinion on JP? You think Watkins will be out for a while? Doesn't sound as bad as feared. Right, sound. A lot of people considering JP this week. Nothing wrong with it, but be warned about the Arsenal game on Tuesday. Would you sell Saka to Fernandes? If you're looking to captain Bruno, go for it. Yavelich, definitely said that wrong. Should I take a -4 of KDH and Ekatika to Bruno on one striker, or Semenyo and Ekatika to do the same thing? And if I should do it, which striker? Dewsbury Hall and Ekatika to Bruno. Dewsbury Hall is coming back into that team now, so wouldn't take out Dewsbury Hall, to be fair. And one striker, or Semenyo and Ekatika. Don't take out Semenyo at all, definitely not. If you want to captain Bruno Fernandes, I'd go for it. Dewsbury Hall and Ekatika to Bruno, and what you've left in the bank. Javalisevic, let me know how much you have in the bank after you do Ekatika to Bruno. Or so you do Dewsbury Hall to Bruno, and what you've left for a replacement for Ekatika, let me know, and we'll help you there. If you're selling Saka to Fernandes, not mad on it, but if that's it, you're only route to Bruno Fernandes and you want to captain him this week, maybe go for that, and then you can look towards getting Rice ahead of the double game week. Is Pedro starting? Start him or Virgil or Van de VDD? Who's VDD? Maybe Van Dijk, you mean? But if you have Pedro in the team, you have to start him, so go with that. O'Reilly or Chalobah this week? Vivid Mendes, Chalobah for sure. Duffer, will I captain Enzo? I don't think I would. No, he's fine as is in your team. Not the captaincy of Palmer starting. That's the penalties from Enzo, so leave off that. Keane versus Anderson this week. Start Keane in the hopes he does start. They might move to a 5 at the back. I think both will concede anyway. Michael Murphy, would you sell Watkins and Anderson for Evan Nielsen and Enzo? Have 3 free transfers and already have Bruno, Saka, Semenyo, Haaland, Thiago. Yes, go for that. Annie Ket, currently number 1 in India. Nice one. 2 free transfer suggestions. Dara Heskett in the chat there as well. Miss your chats down there. Good man. Palmer captain. I don't think I'll go for that. Mono, would you play Wilson over Rice or play Thiago over Alderete? Would you play Wilson over Rice, or no, Rice over Wilson for sure, and play it? No, Alderete over Thiago. Mono, go with that. Bench Wilson, play Rice. Dara, don't think I'll be captain and Palmer. Definitely not. Send in the rest of your team there, Dara, as well. Good man. If you want to be like Dara and Mono there, if you want to become a member of the channel and support the page, head on down there to the description, and yeah, you can see the link there to become a member. As always, lads, appreciate the support. Thanks for that. Right, what are we saying? Currently number 1 in India. 2 free transfer suggestions. Kelleher, CT, Kelleher, Dubravka, I'm going to guess, or Devrak to Van Dijk. CT, Kelleher, I don't know what you're saying there, man, sorry. Van Dijk, Timber, Gabriel, Dorgu, Goodmunson, Saka, Semenyo, Enzo. What are you saying here? Sorry. Will you write that again, man? I just can't make sense of that at all. Or that's your team, sorry. Kelleher, Dubravka, Van Dijk, Timber, Gabriel, Dorgu, Goodmunson, Saka, Semenyo. How did I not cop that? Jesus Christ. Saka, Semenyo, Enzo, Wilson, Anderson, Haaland, Thiago, and Ekatika. So Kelleher, Dubravka, I'm going to guess you're going to play Dubravka. Van Dijk, Timber, Gabriel is all good there. Saka, Semenyo, Enzo, Wilson, Anderson, Haaland, Thiago, Ekatika. I'm going to guess you're playing Haaland, Thiago, Ekatika, and bench and Wilson. All good there. Good stuff. Right, 10 to 1. Another 40 minutes to go. Let's keep the questions coming then as well. Appreciate all the ones coming in here, sending the questions in then as well. We've 50 viewers, which is great to see then as well. We're on 60 likes then as well. Keep the likes coming if you can at all. Let's try and get to 70 or 80. And if you are watching and you haven't clicked subscribe, head on down there, please. Click subscribe on the channel. We're on the road to 9k subs. Let's see if we can get there by the end of February. That'd be great if we could at all. Job on, but we've about 180 to get there. So keep the subs coming in if you can at all. Your support is greatly appreciated. Differential captaincy again ranked Tarek. Got Saka, Haaland, Bruno, Enzo, JP, Rogers. I think leave it on Bruno there, Tarek. Did you get a ticket for Ireland, Denmark if we beat Czech? Can't wait for it, Nate. I'm hoping to get with Elveries. If I do some work with them over on Instagram with my own, with this FPL page, with my own FPL page. This is my FPL page, with the FPL page. So I'm hoping if we do get to Denmark, Elveries will bring me to that game just to get a match day vlog in, and a bit of something outside the stadium before. So let's see. We need to get by Czech Republic first, or Czechoslovakia, or how you even call them. But yeah, let's let's get through that game first, then we can worry about that. But I didn't, Nate, did you? Let us know if you did, and we can look forward to March then as well. Right then, Bruno or Haaland, is everyone is asking. Yeah, on Bruno for now. Will a captain Enzo Fernandez Duffer? I don't think so, no. 4 free transfers: Ekatika to Krupi, Cherky to Enzo, Stash to Bruno. For this I can either downgrade Raya to Sanchez or Van Dijk to Senesi. If I do Raya, then Saka to Rice and Van Dijk to Gabriel for -4 next week. Right, so Ekatika to Krupi, Cherky to Enzo, Stash to Bruno. For those 3, that's good. For this I can either downgrade Raya to Sanchez or Van Dijk to Senesi. Raya to Sanchez is fine. Yeah, first 4 there, yeah. Ekatika to Krupi, Cherky to Enzo, Stash to Bruno, and then Raya to Sanchez. Very good 4 transfers there. Very, very strong transfers there. And then next week, Saka to Rice, Van Dijk to Gabriel. Very good. You're set up well there, Absarara. Go with that. Like that a lot. Mono, let me know if that's alright, but I'd play Rice over Wilson and Alderete over Thiaw. Same theme as yours, Abbas, except for Bruno. Semenyo said, whom the captain, Haaland or Saka or Ekatike? I think Haaland out of those then as well. I'd be considering Haaland myself, but I'm going Bruno. That is all there. Right, start O'Reilly or Tarkowski. Probably Tarkowski, saw Doctor. Probably just. Noel, start Ekatike or Mane. Struggling to decide. I think Ekatike might get bench whilst Mane at 90 plus versus a poor Bournemouth defence. I think you have to go Ekatike. If you're considering benching Ekatike at that price, just get rid of him and forget about him. But no, start Ekatike surely. Could see Fulham frustrate United, and I could see Spurs frustrate City. Should I captain Haaland or Bruno? I'm on Bruno. Sorry, I was considering Haaland, but I'm on Bruno. It could be big gains to be made on the captaincy this week then as well. So let's see where we go on that then as well. Can you please rate my team, Castle? Of course I can. Pickford, Timber, Gabriel, Wilson, Rogers, Bruno, Saka, Anderson, Haaland and Thiago. Pickford, Timber, Gabriel. Where's your third defender there? Let's see. Timber, Gabriel, Wilson, Rogers, Bruno, Saka, Anderson, Haaland and Thiago. And Mukalele, there we go, sorry. All good there. That's a strong team there, so you're good to go there, man. Parksy, would you bench boost below Sanchez, Gabriel, Timber, Chalaba, Bruno, Rice, Rogers, Enzo, Haaland, Ekatike, Thiago, Dubravka, Tarkowski, KDH, Ronaldo? Let me see, did he play last week, or did he get -1, didn't he, for picking up a yellow? Let me see how much he played last week. 5.4, an absolute stinker. Did he start? He did. What time did he come off though? Might have came off early. Where is he gone there? Out. Yeah, come off at half time. Does that mean he might be benched this week? Maybe. Apart from that, it's a strong bench though. Dubravka, Tarkowski, Dewsbury Hall and Ronaldo. If you think Ronaldo's going to start, go for it. You might get a better chance to bench boost only after your wild card. If you get a clean sheet, you'd be kicking yourself if you didn't play it with Dubravka. Tarkowski, Dewsbury Hall. Do you know what? Maybe just risk it. Maybe just risk it. Patrick, good morning, fella. Ekatike or Thiago to Bruno? Ekatike or Thiago to Bruno? Ekatike, I'm assuming to fund Bruno. Maybe Ekatike. Start Thiago. You'll want him back at least for 27. With Ekatike, you'll want him probably gone next week. So maybe get rid of that. Right, all good there. Nice one. Should I sell Saka to Bruno Fernandes? Any kid, if you want to captain him, go for it. If not, leave Saka in the team there. 3 free transfers. Get cash for O'Reilly or save transfer and start O'Reilly or Tarkowski. Start Tarkowski there, go with that. Hi mate, how's it going? Fenerbahce, all good, great to see you as always, man. Appreciate you tuning in. Mukalele, Esteve or Anderson, start one. Mukalele, definitely Mukalele. Antos, my idea, do you think there could be any team leaks at the 3 p.m. games? Could get something on Arsenal, actually, now that you say it. Who's the 3 p.m. games? Bournemouth, Wolves, Leeds, Arsenal, Brighton and Everton. Let's have a scroll here. Zinchenko has gone to Ajax. Grand. Not seeing much yet. Grand. Fenerbahce. Would you be tempted by Palmer captaincy if you own him? No, I wouldn't be, no. I have Bruno and Palmer to pick from. Chalobah as a consideration considering West Ham's weaknesses as centre backs from corners. As a captaincy, no. Chalobah himself is fine. No, leave it at that. Right, grand. Paul Sever. Hey, no, I hope you're well. Will I start Bruno G or leave him on the bench? I have Mana to replace Pablo. Good man, Pablo. Maybe start Mane over him. Maybe just Eddie Howe didn't give much away with Bruno G. I don't know if that's just a tactical thing trying to put Liverpool off with their preparation, but it doesn't sound great. If you've enough to do Bruno G to the likes of an Enzo Fernandez, Rodgers, I'd go with that and start him over Mane. Let me know if that's alright, Pablo, and how much you've in the bank. Senan, well, Niall sold Saka and Dorgu for Mbeumo and Jimenez. Starting Jimenez, Mukulele, the absolute goal to shore, and Tarkowski, benching O'Reilly and Virgil van Dijk. Don't know if I'd bench Van Dijk now. I know you've brought in Jimenez, so you're probably going to have to start him, but no, I don't think I'll be benching Van Dijk. 3 assists during the week. I know it was a very weak opposition. He was playing up front towards the end then as well. But no, I don't think I'd be benching Van Dijk there. I know you've brought in the Bournemouth man, but no. Steven Nzonzi still playing with Stoke. Wow, what age is he? He was a baller back in the day. Nzonzi, how is he still going? What age is he? 37. Wow, playing in the Championship, 37. Jesus Christ. Fair play to him. Good career then as well. Roma. Who else did he play with? Blackburn, of course. Stoke, Sevilla, Roma, Galatasaray, Rennes, Al Rayyan. Back to Stoke then as well. 16 appearances, 1 goal this season. Wow. Should I take -4 to Saka, to Bruno, Anderson, to Mbeumo, Ekitike, and everything else, and not for a -4? No. At your rank there, no, definitely not. Some goal, man. Any team news from Wolves versus Bournemouth or Arsenal game? Absolutely nothing yet. Saka or Haaland captain? Out of those, Haaland captain, yeah. Out of those, I'll be captain on Haaland. Right, half an hour to go until the deadline. What are we saying here? Right, what do we think about Ekitike to Mane, Krupi? Can you pick one and mint to the Bruno for -4? If you're captain and Bruno Fernandes, nothing wrong with that. If that's your only route to Bruno, let me know the rest of the team blame, but if that's only one, go with that. Jose Saz in the starting lineup, or was it a John Stone injury? Jose Starr is in starting lineup. I thought he was moving. Let me have a look. Wouldn't worry about Wolves goalkeepers anyway. Wow, he's staying. Ortega's gone to Forest. Wow. Full agreement has been reached with Manchester City. It'll be a permanent transfer with a 5-month contract. It will be a permanent transfer with a 5-month contract. What? Jesus. So it looks like Sa's staying. So if you have Sa, keep him. Double game week around the horizon then as well. Potential double game week. So go with that then. So Steven Nzonzi, yeah. Play Krupi or Thiago. Probably Thiago with the injury to Villa, and with the fact he's on penalties then as well. Right, all good there. Grand. Right, 28 minutes to go. Grand, good stuff. Right, make sure everyone is happy enough here. League of Ireland starting on Friday is right. Grand. Szoboszlai 6.7. Foden to Bruno and Gordon with what's left. 6.7. Is that not enough for Enzo Fernandez, no? Why is he looking towards Szoboszlai? Enzo, so man. Alright, all good there. I don't have Bruno best at my options. Take the hit then. Amat to Cherky Or is that sideways? Sideways. All good there. So can hold Watkins and moved Bruno G on. 0.4. How much? Grand. Would JP Cunha a good option? Hall to Justin, Shirky to Cunha, or Ahmed to Shirky, or is that sideways? Would JP start thinking to bring him in and captain too risky? Captain is too risky. IMO. Chelsea forums saying. Hall to Justin, Shirky to Cunha. What's the rest? Right, a lot to get through here yet then as well. Right, 26 minutes to go. Keep the questions coming if you can at all. I'm on wildcard. I want to do a bench boost in Game of 26, so I am so disappointed. Who do I pick? Mukalele or Richards Mukalele? I was thinking that Howe was playing his cards close to his chest. Brought Enzo in already, so I think I'll take the risk and play Bruno G. Thanks and good luck this week. Good man, Pablo. Same to you, man. Start LaCroix or Harry Wilson. Harry Wilson. I do think United concede, so that's why I go with that. Gabriel, Nukulele, Kanate, Enzo, Saka, Wirtz, Wilson, Haaland, Ekatike. Captain Haaland. If no Bruno. Right, grand job there. Michael, can't fund wise. I currently updated my team to improve my keeper situation. Let me know what you think. Tempted to start Timber over Thiago. What's my best 11? Gabriel, Nukulele, Chalaba, Rice, Enzo, Rogers, Fernandez, Thiago, Evan Nielsen. I'd say grand. 7.5 for a Bruno G replacement. Enzo. Grand. Right, all good there. Right, everyone's replied to. Let me send in this. Hey, sorry if I did this question already. Don't be sorry. All good. Keep the questions coming. Start Thiago or Joachim Anderson? Good chance. Both concede. Anderson for the DEFCON. Go with that. If you have to start. Oh, why am I Xing out that? If you have to start one of them, go with Anderson. John Phelan, hi mate, loving your work. I appreciate that, John. Good man. I've got João Pedro. Would you start him or play Krupi? Start João Pedro. If you have him, you have to hope he starts. So leave it at that. This is the rest of my team. I'll just lock this and then a 5 for transfer better RD, which doubles as well. Grand. I'd move the armband to. Good stuff. Right. Let me send in this team then as well. Where is that one there? Grand. Bang. Bang. Gone. Right. What do we? So 24 minutes. Keep the questions coming. That's everyone got back to in the Patreon at least. If you want to join the Patreon, links in the description below then as well. We've got a good group over there in the Patreon, and yeah, everyone is happy over there, which is least. That's sorted then as well. So yeah, my moves there then as well. Virgil could be done to Chalaba this week. I think we're going to leave off it until next week when he has City. Gabriel, Nukulele, Wilson, Enzo, Bruno, Saka, Rogers, Ekatike, Haaland. Saka, Ekatike, Virgil and Raya are the main, would you say, hiccups, are the main, not issues, but the question marks on my team. If I wanted to get Rice, save a bit of money then as well. Ekatike is probably going to have to go. I want to keep 3-5-2 formation as well, so if I was downgrading Saka to a Rice, I want to be upgrading my midfield more, whether that's moving on Wilson. That could be a mistake then as well. But yeah, I'm happy with the team. Raya is Raya. He's not saving much at the moment at all, but he's in there for now. Will he be there for the double game week? Probably at this stage, with transfers being a luxury item at the moment. So let's see. Blaine, what are we saying? My team is Sanchez, Dubravka, Timber, Gabriel, Van Dijk, Mukalele, Anderson. Good defence anyway. Rogers, Enzo, Barnes, Ndai, Minta. Slight issues in the midfield. Ekatike, Haaland, Thiago. 0.5 in the bank. How to get Bruno if I want to captain him. Sanchez, Timber, Gabriel, Van Dijk. That's even a risk or a bit of a headache benching Ukulele then as well. Haaland, Ekitike, Thiago is where you're losing your money then. Rodgers, Enzo, Barnes, and Dye, Minta. Yeah, you can't even do a Saka to a Bruno. I think you're going to have to leave off Bruno this week, Blaine, without leaving it at that. Blaine, how are you going to get Bruno Fernandes in there? Wow. Sanchez, Timber, Gabriel, Van Dijk, Rodgers, Enzo, Barnes, and Dye, Minta. You're going to have to go without Bruno this week, without taking a -4. So I'd go against that. I wouldn't recommend that. Just captain Haaland and forget about him. That's not ideal. That's what you're going to have to do though. Start one, Chalobah, Evan Nielsen, and Dye. You have to start them all. Boys, send in the rest of your team there. If you're considering benching those, just play the bench boost. That's crazy. Bench 1 from Wilson, Krupi, Thiago. Bench 1. Maybe Wilson, just. Start Hill or Krupi. Maybe start the attacker. Loftus, what's happening Niall? Tidy room and Leitrim there, definitely is. Nunes plus Rodgers and Buema plus Senesi for the next 5 or 6 weeks. Nunes and Rodgers. If you have Bruno Fernandes already, Nunes and Rodgers. That's what I'll be going for there. Yeah. If you have Bruno, leave off that and look elsewhere. Then that's all good. Right then, good. So for nearly on 70 likes, we've 50 people watching us. If you are watching and you haven't clicked like, go down there, click like on the stream. And while you're down there, if you haven't done so, click subscribe on the channel. We're on the road to 9k subs. Your support is greatly appreciated. Bench boost, Ukulele against Liverpool home, GW24, or Richards against Burnley at home. In 26, if you're looking for next week, then Richards. I think you were asking about the wild card. I thought you were asking about this week. Sorry, Ukulele this week. But if you're looking towards benching Ukulele this week and looking for a bench boost next week, Richards against Burnley. That's what I'll be saying there. Sell Semenyo to Mbuemo. Definitely do not do that. Definitely don't do that. This is Blaine. You wouldn't recommend wild card, Blaine. What are we saying? No. The Bravka, Timber, Gabriel, Van Dijk. Your midfield isn't great. Barnes and Minta. In Dye, Enzo, Rodgers is fine. And Dye is fine. Rodgers and Enzo are good. You've no Rice. You can't get to Bruno Fernandes this week, no. So leave off. I wouldn't wildcard Blaine, though, no. It's not worth it. I don't think I would. But you're just going to have to go against Bruno. Hide behind a couch. I do think Bruno does well, but I don't think it's worth ripping up your team for a wildcard or a -4. So no, I wouldn't do that. I have 2 free transfers. Should I do Foden to Bruno and Ekitike to Thiago or Evan Nielsen? Probably would. If that's allowing you to get Bruno Fernandes. If you can't do Bruno to Foden or Foden to Bruno in one move, leave that off and do the second transfer there if that's what you have to do. Anderson, Wilson, Bruno Guimaraes, bench 1, Bruno G. But if you can do Bruno G to an Enzo, that's what you should be doing, and then benching the other lads then if it's for free. That's what you should be doing. Colin O'Connor, Bruno G to Enzo or Dorgu to Gabriel. Only 1 free transfer. Dorgu to Gabriel. Get Gabriel into the team. Get him in shortly. Send in the rest of the team there, Colin. But Gabriel has to be the priority at his price point then as well. Get him in. Get him in for sure. Boj made it. Team is Sanchez, Dubravka, Gabriel, Timber, Ukulele, Senesi, Chalobah, Enzo, Rice, Bruno, Mbuemo, and Dye. Haaland, Evan Nielsen, Mane. Wildcard starting 11 headache. Yeah, this is the thing with the wildcards. Then when you're planning towards a bench boost, when you're planning towards a double game week, then as well you're benching lads that you want to start, especially with that Wolves fixture this week. So Sanchez is fine. Gabriel, Timber, Ukulele, Senesi, Chalobah. You could start all those defenders this week. Enzo, Rice, Bruno, and Mbuemo, and Dye. Haaland, Evan Nielsen, Mane. Best of luck with that bench. Wow. You could start all 5 defenders there. There's going to be massive points in your bench there. Enzo, Rice, Bruno, Mbuemo, and Dye. Let me know who you're benching there, boys. Made it because you have a very strong 13-14 there. Let me know what you're thinking there. Start Krupi over Thiago. Maybe, but with Thiago, he's got penalties. I wouldn't be surprised if Brentford do get one against Villa. So maybe start Thiago. Just that's tough. QMVQ. Good morning, Niall. My team for the game week. I forgot to get back to my own Instagram, QMVQ. I saw you DM me. I don't think I'll be in Qatar anytime soon, unfortunately. But appreciate the DM, good man. And sorry for not getting back to you. I was working when I saw that message, good man. Good morning, Niall. My team for the game week is Henderson, Gabby, Ballard, Chalobah, Rice, Bruno G, Bruno Fernandes, Enzo, Rodgers, Haaland, Ekitike. Captain is Bruno Fernandes. Bench is Dubravka, Van Heck, DCL, Anderson. Good to go. Just see a comment there. Do you know what? Let me throw you a follow back here. QMVQ. Unfortunately not. No, I won't be in Qatar. No. Cheers for tuning in though, man. As always, appreciate that. Team is Henderson, Gabby, Ballard, Chalobah, Rice, Bruno G, Bruno Fernandes, Enzo, Rodgers, Haaland, Ekitike. Captain is Bruno Fernandes. Bench is Dubravka, Van Heck, DCL, Anderson. Good to go. So Henderson, Gabby, Ballard, Chalobah compared to Van Heck is fine. Would you start even Dubravka? Maybe not. No. Rice, Bruno, Gamaras, Bruno F, Enzo, Rodgers. Would you go Bruno G to... How much have you in the bank? Rice, Bruno G, Bruno F, Enzo, Fernandez, Rodgers, Haaland, Ekitike. Captain is Bruno Fernandes. That's all good there. Gabby, Ballard, Chalobah, Rice, Bruno G. Who would you go for Bruno G to a midfielder there? Who would you go for? Assuming you can't afford... Would you go just to Ndai? Maybe just. It's not ideal. Let me know how much in the bank for a Bruno G replacement though. QMVQ, good man. Only route to Bruno is straight swap to Rodgers. Thoughts? Straight swap to Rodgers. If you're captain him, go for it. Massimo, Hera, GG Manu, of course. Bruno captain, thinking Thiaw to Chalobah. Bench Anderson, solid move. Abu, good man. Thiaw to Chalobah, bench Anderson, all good there. No Haaland. Bruno, Haaland or Enzo for the captaincy. If you don't have Bruno, it has to be Haaland this week. I'm even considering Haaland with a Bruno owner, or as a Bruno owner. So no, leave off that. All good there. Right, 15 minutes to go into the deadline. We're nearly on. We're nearly on 70 likes. 5 off 70. If you are watching and you haven't clicked like, go down there, give the stream a like. Let's try and get this pushed out to a few more people before the stream ends. All good there, right? Good stuff. Start Wilson or Munoz this week. Probably, maybe Munoz. Just no, yeah, all good there. We'll probably start all my defenders bench with the Dubravka and Dye, Evan Nielsen, Mane. A lot of points on the bench there, and Dye, Evan Nielsen, and Mane. Pity you don't have a bench boost. You can't bench boost obviously when you're wildcarding. Treslin play. Hello, sir. Worth keeping Saka due to double game week, or do we move to Rice? Keep Saka this week. I do think he starts this week, but leave that off. Leave it off for now. Maybe closer to the double game week if you need some money elsewhere. If you need to make a shift around your teams, maybe just go with that later on. Right. Rice or Rodgers, Croupier, Wilson, Rice and Wilson. This week, start the two. If you're just deciding on a wild card, Rice, Croupier, Wilson. But if you're deciding between starting them, start Rice and Rodgers. I think I'll stay on Bruno G, to be honest. Maybe in die later. Right now I've one in the bank but no free transfers. I'll wait and see the double gaming situation. Very fair. I'd be surprised if Bruno G starts, but that could be just Eddie Howe's mind games. So leave it off at that. That's all good there. Right. Nice one. Sound. Why Bruno over Haaland? United are a team in form. Bruno playing in that more advanced position. An extra point for a goal. More points, or more route to points with Defcon. On penalties like Haaland then as well. Thomas Frank will be playing that low block as he always does against the big teams. City might struggle, but then watching that City or Haaland's goal during the week, if Spurs are pushed up like that chasing a goal, Haaland can get in behind it too easily there, especially with Van de Ven out if he is out. So it's closer than it seems. 64% on Bruno, 31% on Haaland, 4% on João Pedro. But I think it's Bruno's. It's Bruno's for the Ironman, and I'll be leaving it on that. Just looking through the captaincies over the last couple of weeks. Saka blank. Haaland the week before blank. 2 blanks in a row. Haaland scored the week before that. That was okay. 3 out of 4 blanks. 4 out of 5 blanks. Wow. Yeah, at least the triple captaincy did well then as well. So we've had poor luck, but that's with Haaland blanking up the last while. That's why we're probably looking towards elsewhere this week for the captaincy. So let's see where we do end up. But if you do captain Haaland, I wouldn't say no to him doing well this week. Do you think we score many versus Fulham? I think we'll at least get 2, Alex. But I do think Fulham scored then as well. It's either going to be a 2-1 or a 3-1. I know I'm saying I think we score 2, but if Fulham get another one, I think we'll get 2 or 3. We'll see. Wilson or Senesi this week? Probably Senesi with that fixture. But I am saying Fulham are going to score. It's just whether you think Wilson is going to be involved. Probably will be, as he is on set pieces, but probably a better chance of Bournemouth keeping a clean sheet and Senesi getting DEFCON than Wilson get a return. Jimenez double-digit Haaland coming, sending that. I hope you get it. I hope you do get it. Hey mate, would you keep or sell bonus? If sell, whom to? Cheers. Probably keep him this week. You could probably go Evan Nielsen if you wanted to. But if you only got one free transfer, there's nothing wrong saving that and using that next week to go for the likes of a third Arsenal if you need it or that. But I'd leave it that as is. Paul Beats in the chat. Paul, good man. Hope all is well, Paul. Great to see you. What are we saying, Paul? Sending the team there. Let's get you up and going. I'm thinking of bench boost. My team is Riffs, Dubravka, Timber, Gabriel, Chalaba, Alderete, Keane, Rice, Bruno, Enzo, Wilson, Rogers, Haaland, Thiago, João Pedro. Many minutes risk but worth it. IMO. Bench boosting, sorry. Riffs and Dubravka. If you get a nil on that game, you're laughing. Timber, Gabriel, Chalaba, Alderete, Keane. Keane's is a bit of a risk, but sure, look, that's a strong defence as is. Rice, Bruno, Enzo Fernandez, Wilson, Rogers, Haaland, Thiago, João Pedro. It's a strong 13-14 there, to be fair. Why not go for it? Start which 2 of Alderete, Thiago, O'Reilly, Keane. Alderete and O'Reilly just, I think. You can probably start Keane, try and see if he starts that game, but much of a muchness really. Start Richards or Keane, thanks. Let's get to Paul Beats first. Team sent on Twitter, he's saying. Let's get you up here, man. What are we looking at? Here we go. 25 minutes ago, Paul. Sorry about that. So you've got Raya, Dubravka, Gabriel, O'Reilly, Mukiele, Thiago, Bruno Fernandes, Wilson, Saka, Semenyo, Enzo. Very strong midfield anyway. Haaland, Thiago and Krupi Jr. Probably O'Reilly to Chalaba. That's what I'll be doing there, Paul. Raya, Gabriel, Chalaba, Mukiele, Bruno, Wilson, Saka, Semenyo, Enzo, Haaland, Thiago. 3-5-2. Very strong team there. Let me know if that's alright, man. O'Reilly to Chalaba. You have enough money for it there to get that locked in. Nice one. Right, 9 minutes to go until the deadline. Start Richards or Keane, thanks. Probably Keane, or probably Richards, sorry. I don't think Keane is going to start. Noel, Verbruggen, Timber, Gabriel, Chalaba, Senesi, Fernandez, Rice, Rogers, Enzo, Haaland, Thiago, bench, Dubravka, Krupi Jr., kind of Wilson. I'm on the wildcard. Who do I bench? For Bruggen, Timber, Gabriel, Chalaba, Senesi. So you're going 4-4-2. Fernandez, Rice, Rogers, Enzo, Haaland, Thiago. Bench Dubravka, Krupi Jr., Wilson. I'm on a wildcard. Who do I bench? Bench looks alright there, to be fair. All good. Paul, let me know if that's alright. Alrighty to Chalaba. Good to go there. Best replacement for Rogers. Can't afford him. How much have you? Babe Sharama. Let me know. Start Mane or O'Reilly. Start Mane there. Trez and play. Start him. Shirky for Rice or Rogers. You're gonna have to make a plan to get Rice in anyway. If you can get Rice in after this week, do you know what? Get him in this week. You could easily do well against Leeds. Yeah, go for that over Rogers. Aston Villa with a few injuries. Why not just do it now? Go with that. Babe Sharama, let me know how much you have in the bank, and we'll help you out with your team there then as well. Krupi Jr. versus Wolves not starting. Where are you seeing that? Are you saying that you should be benching him or that he's not starting? Let me have a look here. Or is that just a statement, Paul? Is it? Can't say anything about him not starting. Last question. Krupi or Wilson to start? Probably Krupi to start there. Mono, yeah. Go with that. Right, can't see anything on the timeline there. Clean sheet odds, which is crazy. Sunderland are first for the chance for a clean sheet this week. Arsenal joined first. United, Chelsea. United are third for a clean sheet. Wow. Fair enough. Is he not where to start? Wolves are shite. They are indeed. What was their team there? Sorry, back to this. Who are you gonna start him over? Thiago on penalties. I think you probably still start Thiago over Krupa Jr. looking at that. Maybe over Wilson, maybe go with that. 3-4-3. You could bench Wilson and start Krupa Jr. Maybe go with that, Paul. But I'm starting Wilson myself, be warned on that. So yeah, probably go with that. Few on the time I'm benching Krupa, which is fair, but the decision between that and him and Wilson, maybe just him over Wilson. Just Paul, go with that. Krupa or Wilson mono then as well. Probably Krupa, as I was saying there. Yeah, go with that. Right then, 6 minutes to go until the deadline. Get your teams locked in if you can at all. 72 in the chat, which is great to see as well. We're nearly on 70 likes. Get those likes coming in if you can. Rodgers or Semenyo on wildcard. All good there. Grand. 6 minutes to go. If you are watching and you haven't clicked subscribe already, we're very close to hitting 8,830 subscribers. So if you're watching, do us a solid to go down there, click subscribe, help a lad out here who's on the road to 9k subs. Start Nunez or not? Mo Hadrak. Who you starting him over? Who's benching him? Let me know. Start Nunez or not? Surely you can start Nunez in defence against Spurs. I can see City getting a clean sheet there. Spurs a couple of injuries in as well, so why not go for it? Right, then that's all good there then as well. 5 minutes to the deadline. I'm going to stick on Bruno. I'll let Connor know. Grand, all good there. Is Mbeumo captain good, Michael? Nothing wrong with Mbeumo if you want to go from him. If you have Bruno Fernandes, obviously go with Bruno over Mbeumo. Start Mukiele or Anderson. Mukiele, Sunderland first for a clean sheet. Mane or Bruno Guimaraes. Mane looks like going from what Eddie Howe was saying that Bruno won't be fit, but yeah, Ollie Watkins' injury not as bad as once feared. Yeah, I was chatting to Max Fosh, the YouTuber, and told him to bring in Abraham, but then once I saw that, I told him do not do that. Leave him off. I think Abraham will start on Sunday, just in the long term. Watkins is going to be it. Right, start Nunez or not? Yeah, all good. Let me know the rest of your team there. Start Wilson or Garner. Wilson out of those, yeah. And Diaz looks to be taking every set piece off him then as well. His DEFCON was down on Monday night then as well. He didn't get it, didn't he? Let's have a look here. How much did he get? 9. Maybe all those chopping and changing the teams affecting his DEFCON. So probably Wilson just. If I want to go from Foden to Bruno, I have to downgrade one of Bruno G or Bowen. Which one should I downgrade? Bruno G. Bench one, let me know how much you have to get for a Bruno G replacement then as well. Whether that's going to an Anderson if you have to. If not, let me know what you have in the bank there. Bench one from Krupa Jr., Thiago, Anderson, Lafie. You have to start Krupa Jr. Thiago with the penalties, I think you have to start. Lafie on penalties then 2. Maybe you're benching Anderson, but that's DEFCON out the window then. Start Lacroix or Dewsbury Hall. Nunez or Sash. Nunez for sure. Play Van Dijk or Richards. Van Dijk. Sunderland double defence of Ruffs, Alderete or Russ, Mateus Nunes and Russ. Surely you can get Alderete in if you can then as well. Lacroix or KDH to start. Dewsbury Hall there to start. Chalobah or Haaland captain. Wow, Haaland captain for sure out of those. Bruno Fernandes if you have Bruno. If not, Haaland isn't a bad shout either. Do I go -4 for Gusto to Chalobah? Cucurella as not guaranteed to start. Did he play during the week, Gusto? Let's have a quick look here. Gusto. Yeah, he played on Wednesday. He's been playing. Maybe just chancing for now. It's not ideal. Not worth a -4. Don't know. I don't think so. Leave off that. Right, 2 minutes to go into the deadline. Make sure your teams are locked in. We're 3 subs off hitting 8,830. If you're one of the 67 people still watching and haven't clicked subscribe, do us a do a good deed for the day and go down there, click subscribe on the channel. We're getting closer to 9k subs, and that'll be very much appreciated. Start Bruno G or Wilson. I think Wilson out of those, just with the uncertainty around Bruno Guimaraes. Making sure I have all that locked in there. Bruno Fernandes captain, Haaland vice, Esteve first sub if he's needed, but it's not a strong bench at all. But all we care about is the starting 11. We're not playing a bench boost, so that's all good there. For Bruggen versus Everton at home or Russ versus Burnley at home, Russ, he's Sunderland 45% chance alongside Arsenal for the chance for clean sheet, so go with that. Grand. Wow, FPL Fran has brought in Maguire. Right, what else are we saying? Good stuff, right. 1 minute to go. If that's the rest of the questions for today, I appreciate everyone who tuned in for the last 2 hours and 13 minutes or so. And I appreciate all the new subs since we did start off then. But pens will be down soon. Bruno Fernandes captain. We're rolling the free transfer. If Enzo or Ekatike don't start, which they should start, I've got a Stevie on the bench if needs be. I wonder will Mark E get some minutes as well if he's if Rosenier is looking towards Wednesday or Tuesday night in that Arsenal game. But that's it for another week. Just making sure everyone has replied to in the Patreon. Own team there is locked. And yeah, that's the deadline gone. Have to pack me things to get back to going now then as well, so we'll hurry on at this. We're going to end the stream right there as always. Before we do drop off, make sure to drop a like on stream. Head on down there, click subscribe if you haven't done so already. We're nearly on 70 likes, so click like before you do drop off. No early team news, but that's alright. We're going to be back. Is it a Friday night deadline next Friday? Yeah, Leeds and Forest on Friday night, Spurs and United on Sunday morning. So yeah, we're going to leave it there. So thank you to everyone for tuning in, and hopefully we'll get that Bruno Fernandes haul and Haaland stays relatively quiet. But a green arrow should be on the cards if Bruno does get a nice return from the captaincy. Right, I'm going to leave it there. So thanks for watching. Best of luck for the week. We'll see you in the next video. Erabu.